There were 7 bullpen spots up for grabs in spring training, and 4 were taken by rookies. 3 had never pitched in the big leagues. But against the Angels, the Rooks combined to pitch 9 innings, holding the Angels to 1 run. Tonight, the veteran White Sox are in town. Game 1 is next on Fox Sports Kansas City. It's a new series for the Royals and for Luke Hochevar. After dropping his first start tonight, he gets the Chicago White Sox in Game 1 of a short 2-game series. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Royals Hall of Famer Frank White. I'm Ryan Lefevre, and the Royals are off and running after taking 3 out of 4 from the Angels with 3 wins in their last at-bat and a most impressive start to the season from a very young bullpen.
Well, you're right about that, Ryan. And these young guys, what's been really impressive about them is that they really have a lot of confidence. And one guy goes out there and he pitches well. The other one feel like they've got to go out there and do the same thing. So right now they're feeding off each other.
So these 3 young guys, all rookies, Adcock, Crow, and Collins making their major league debuts against the Angels, they combined to allow just 1 run in a combined 9 innings. And it wasn't just the young guys, the guys who have been around, like Kaneko Teixeira, he was a rookie last year, Robinson Tejeda, Joaquim Soria, they combined to give up just 1 run in 6 innings. Now we talk about the bullpen, Frank, because the Royals have played well lately against the White Sox because of their bullpen.
And that's what you need. When you're playing against good ball clubs, it's going to come down all the time to that bullpen. The starter's going to go 5 or 6 innings, turn it over to the bullpen, and the fittest is going to win that one. Before the Royals have had that advantage.
But it won't be easy. Chicago has a veteran lineup, and they just got done scoring 24 runs in 3 games against the Indians. And Paul Konerko always seems to swing the bat well against the Royals. In fact, he has a 10-game hitting streak against KC. by the Missouri Lottery. When you play, students win. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. Well, Frank, there aren't many pitchers that have what Gavin Floyd has. Size, good arm, but he is 3-7 in his career against the Royals.
Ryan, I think sometimes teams have that number with that pitcher. Well, with Gavin Floyd in the Royals ball games, they've been able to make him get his pitch count up, stay close in the score, and get him out of the game in the middle innings, and then take advantage of the bullpen.
He hasn't done well against the Royals. He really hasn't done very well against the Central Division. Now, he is bound and determined to turn that around, and the White Sox need to turn that around. Their poor play against the division last year was probably the difference between them finishing in second place as opposed to winning the division. Here's what Gavin Floyd will face tonight, presented by Southwest Airlines, and it's the Royals' opening day batting order. And with the right-hand pitcher on the mound, Luke Kochaver, that means Matt Trainer is behind the plate. The last time he took a swing, the Royals won the game in 13 innings on Sunday against the Angels. As far as playing against the Central Division, Billy Butler had no trouble with the Central last year, and in his career, he's a .341 hitter against the division. Division play begins tonight for the Royals, and the first pitch is next. Time Warner Cable, where HD is free with digital cable. Out to right field, and let's welcome in Joel Goldberg.
All right, Ryan, thank you very much. In this day and age of social media, it's hard to believe Ned Yost being on Twitter, but Ozzie Guillen is on Twitter. He has a blog, too, and he wrote today, it probably won't be as easy in Kansas City. This team is going to play some really good baseball and probably do better than what most people are expecting. He also said, a lot of people ask me about which stadiums I like, and this one here in Kansas City is my favorite. Just a great stadium. Ozzie loves the case. Sometimes you can see him riding a bike around the perimeter, guys.
All right, Joel, and here's his lineup tonight, presented by Southwest Airlines. And the White Sox scored 24 runs in the three-game series against Cleveland. Adam Dunn, the new addition, they paid big bucks to bring him over from the Washington Nationals, so he bats third, and he's off to a good start. Luke Hochevar throws ball one to the speedy Juan Pierre. So Hochevar 5 2/3 innings on Thursday against the Angels. He was very good in his first 3 innings. All of his outs were either on the ground or by way of a strikeout. So that's his game. And he got the ball up in the 4th inning. And the Angels had 3 extra base hits and scored 2 runs. 2 balls and 1 strike on Juan Pierre. Royals also committed 3 errors in Hochevar's start. One of them committed by Luke. So one of his runs was unearned. Stroked into center field, and Cabrera's going to have to hustle. It'll roll deep, and this is an automatic triple for Juan Pierre. So right out of the gate, the White Sox have a runner at third base and nobody out.
You know, Ryan, one of the few things about Juan Pierre, you so used to see him hit the ball to left field, and the shortstop hole, the line drives the left field. Here he pulls a fastball out of second base, and with Cabrera playing around the left field, the ball goes all the way to the wall, and that's, like you said, that's automatic triple for Pierre.
And shallow.
Very
Cabrera
shallow.
was very shallow in center field. And now Gordon Beckham goes into center field. So 5 pitches, and Chicago has a 1-0 lead. The wind has died down, which is made for a very pleasant 67 degrees. Game started on time at 7:10. Time and temp is brought to you by the parking spot. Easy to spot, easy to park. The parking spot at KCI. Inside to Adam Dunn. He had a home run and 5 RBIs in the 3-game series in Cleveland. The White Sox took 2 out of 3.
Well, Adam Dunn has big-time power, and I think what makes a team feel good about getting a free agent is when you look up there and see 400 average on the board, and this is a guy that really comes to play, and his history precedes him.
Belted into the right field corner, but a little bit out in front. A long, loud strike, 1-1 on Dunn.
Well, a good thing about that pitch there, Ronnie, is it lets Luke Hochevar know that if he doesn't quite get it in there, I can get to it. So the next time he comes, he's got to make sure he gets way in and make sure he can't swing the bat.
Adam Dunn last year, 38 home runs for Washington, and he drove in 103. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No pressure on him, but of course he's got the big contract, and the White Sox signed him because a year ago they got 24 home runs total out of their left-handed hitting, and only 18 from the designated hitter, and that was a year after deciding not to re-sign Jim Thome. All he did was go to Minnesota and hit 25 home runs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So he's in here to give the White Sox some punch as the designated hitter and as a left-hand bat.
Well, you know, they say you never miss what you have till it's gone. And when you lose those 25 home runs, you expect someone to make it up. And when it doesn't get made up, Adam Dunn shows up because you know he's a 25 home run guy.
Three balls, 2 strikes. He is also a big strikeout guy and a big walk guy. He's among the league leaders in strikeouts and on base percentage.
Sounds like another Carlos Pena. that's a rare stat.
Well, speaking of Jim Thome, I mean,
yeah, Jack,
big home
Jack
runs.
Cuss,
big.
Another guy.
Beckham runs, and there's ball 4. Now, this is nothing new for the White Sox, and it's of course very early in the season, but of the 24 runs that they scored in Cleveland, 20 came in the first 4 innings. So while the Royals were doing their damage late against the Angels, the White Sox were attacking early against Cleveland. On opening day at Cleveland, the White Sox scored 15 of the 24 runs in the series. They have a run home here in the first inning and 2 on with nobody out for Paul Konerko. Across the knees for strike 1. Paul Konerko with a 10-game hitting streak against the Royals going back to last year. Only Joe Mauer of the Twins has a longer current hitting streak against KC. Drilled to deep left field. And before many fans can even get into the ballpark, the White Sox have a 4-0 lead.
Well, we know Paul Konerko loves the ball inside. He loves the ball down and in especially. But when you can't get that ball inside, he's going to be sitting there waiting for you. And that pitch was right in his wheelhouse, and he didn't miss it at all. You can see right there, just pull those hands in. If you look to pull, that's the first thing he likes to do as a hitter, look to pull. If you don't get it in there, then he's got you in that situation.
That hit the glass at the Royals Hall of Fame, like some of the hail that came flying out of the sky on Monday night. 1 ball, 1 strike to Alex Rios. Shaver gave up 2 home runs to the Angels in his 5 2/3 innings. And that's off the knuckles and into right center field. So the first 5 have reached. Now that ball wasn't hit very hard. It was up. Here are the Royals defensively tonight, with Gordon, Cabrera, and Francoeur in the outfield. Gillis, Escobar, Getz, and Kaihue on the infield, and Matt Trainer behind the plate for Hochshaver. And Trainer's out there right now with Bob McClure.
Well, I think right now Luke's just suffering from a location problem. Ryan, he's throwing the ball in the strike zone a little too much on the inner half for Paul Konerko, but then again when he elevates out over the plate, he's up to Pierre. He's also up to Rios, and he gave up 2 base hits. So just getting back down in the zone where his ball does have a lot more life, and he can get the ground ball.
As Ned Yost watches Luke Hochshaver, I remember a start that Luke made against Chicago last year. It was Ned Yost's 2nd game as Royals manager. And Luke Hochshaver pitched 6 very good innings against Chicago. He gave up 1 run. And prior to that, that was probably it for Luke. Bullpen would take over. But Ned Yost in his 2nd game sent him back out for the 7th inning, which surprised a lot of people. May have even surprised Luke. And he gave up 4 runs in 1/3 of an inning. And that was the unofficial, quote, arrival for Ned Yost as manager, telling Luke Hochshaver and the rest of the team that there were going to be greater expectations with him as manager.
Well, it's all about accountability. He did make that statement loud and clear, and he didn't bail him out. And that's when you got to grow as a player, and you have to grow as a man in that situation. He's putting a challenge out there. You got to go out and meet that challenge.
Ned Yost got his first win the night before the game we were just talking about, May the 14th, as manager of the Royals. Well, it won't get any easier now, as Carlos Quentin, all he did against the Indians over the weekend was drive in 7 runs. And it was an abbreviated week, but he was the American League Player of the Week. Rios is running, and it's grounded back to Hochshaver, who thought about going to second base, and instead throws out Quentin. So a good decision there. And getting back to the errors that were committed on opening day, remember that bunt in between the mound and third base, and with some anxiety, Hochshaver tried to throw a runner out at first. It wasn't even close, and that led to a couple of runs for the Angels.
Well, and also led to another error because Chris Getz hit the runner going to second base in the back. So it sort of compounded itself.
And now A.J. Pierzynski. shallow center field, and Melky Cabrera comes up for it, and there are 2 down. Luke in his career against the White Sox is even. 3 wins, 3 losses. This is his 8th career start against Chicago tonight. And now Lexi Ramirez, who bats in the number 8 position, just 2 out of 13 against the Indians. During the offseason, the White Sox signed him to a 4-year contract extension. Ramirez hit 18 home runs, 29 doubles last year for Chicago. He has Alex Rios at second base with 2 outs. Saved by Trainer.
Yeah, that's a noticeable thing since Matt Trainer's been here. This has always been, until Jason Kendall came, one of the areas that the catchers need to get better at, and Matt Trainer shows you a great example of how to block a ball in the dirt right there.
Two balls, 1 strike. White Sox last year were 88-74, so 14 games above 500. But because of the way Minnesota played, that left Chicago 6 games back. They got off to a very slow start, and that's been a problem for them lately. Off the end of the bat and right to guess. No slow start tonight as they get 4 in the first. A big lead to work with for Gavin Floyd. He's making his first start. The White Sox played a 3-game series in Cleveland, while the Royals played a 4-game series against the Angels. And Gavin Floyd has had his problems in the first month. Over the course of his career, in the month of April, his earned run average is 6.3. And a strike to Mike Aviles. Now, he is from Maryland, so he should be used to pitching in some cold weather. You figure weather isn't the reason why he's had problems in April. But it's not just the month of April. He's also had his problems in May. We were telling him about the White Sox and their problems in the month of April. 3 out of the last 4 years, they have finished below 500 in the month of April. case again last year. Then they went on an amazing run leading up to the All-Star break. They went 25-5, and they went from 9.5 back to a half game in front, but then flamed out in the month of August.
Well, you were saying earlier about Gavin Floyd. Here's a guy who has a great arm, great stuff, but always seems to be cruising along, and all of a sudden there's that one inning, it blows up, and he's out of the ball game. So Luke Hochevar had that tendency also. He could be just going along like the game was just in his hands, and all of a sudden that one inning pops up before you know 4 runs on the board, he's out of the ball game. So it wasn't until Ned Yost said, hey, go back out there, that changed for him a little bit. So
got it in on the hands of Aviles, and Rios goes into left center field. 1 away. Here's the defense behind Gavin Floyd tonight with Juan Pierre, Alex Rios, and Carlos Quinton in the outfield. Brent Morel, Alexi Ramirez, Gordon Beckham, Adam Dunn on the dirt, and A.J. Brzezinski is behind the plate. So Adam Dunn, expected to spend a lot of time this year as a designated hitter, is at first base, and Paul Konerko is the DH tonight. And a bullet to the left side for Melky Cabrera.
Melky goes up there ready to swing the bat, and this ball's out over the plate, and he just stays right with it and drives it in a hole between short and third, right down the middle of the plate. So he's not waiting at all. You get a fastball you can handle, go ahead and hit it.
So 1 on 1 out, and now Alex Gordon. Alex had 6 hits in the Angels series, and he scored 4 times. And he drills that one to center field deep. Rios is back, all the way back, gone. That is the second career home run for Alex Gordon against Gavin Floyd, and it's his first home run this year.
Well, the Royals this inning, Ryan, they're not going up there looking at a pitch, going up there to swing the bat, and Alex Gordon follows up the base hit with a long home run to center field.
Ball into Billy Butler.
We can just take a look at Alex. I mean, you talked to Kevin Seitzer about hitting the first pitch, and his theory was if you have seen the pitcher before, then go up there and go ahead and hit. And he looked at maybe 20 at bats being the key, but if you haven't seen him before, then he wants the batter to go up and take a look and try to gauge the fastball and the movement on the fastball.
And that was Alex's 13th career at bat against Gavin Floyd. So the Royals come right back. Chicago gets 4 in the first. The Royals with 2.
Now that's the kind of power that Alex Gordon had, and we were talking early, and I said I might be the only guy, with the exception of maybe Mitch Meyer and Keela, that's seen Alex really good. And if he can continue the way he's going, fans are going to have fun watching him this year.
Rios hustles over to left center field, holding Billy to a single. And so his streak continues, at least 1 hit in 105 consecutive series.
You can see the good balance right there, Ryan. He stayed back and he just let those hands do the work for him, and there was no doubt when he squared this ball up where it was going to end up. And you can take a look at Billy. Billy he just got the best balance, I think, of any hitter I've seen in a long time. He just hits the ball where it fits, right back through the middle. Are we looking for another Sunday afternoon type ball game?
Well, that was a 7 home run afternoon. Of course, we played 13 innings. And now a 2 home run evening so far. A strike to Keela. I stand corrected. It was an 8 home run afternoon, 1 shy of the Kauffman Stadium record. Keela is another Royal who has a home run in his career against Floyd. In fact, 5 of the 9 Royals in the lineup tonight have gone deep against Gavin Floyd. Shallow left field for Juan Pierre. And there are 2 outs. And Floyd, when he is on, he will keep the ball down and get a lot of ground balls. Home runs normally aren't a problem for him. And last year he only gave up 14 in almost 190 innings. Jeff Francoeur, 5 out of 17 in the Angels series with his first home run, and he drove in 4. Francoeur hasn't seen a lot of Gavin Floyd over the years, with Floyd being in the American League and Francoeur in the National League, but the times he has faced him, he has done well. 6 at-bats, 4 hits, and a home run. Two balls, no strikes. As the White Sox scored 4 in the top of the first inning, we were talking about that's what they did against the Indians. They did most of their scoring in the first 4 innings. The Royals did most of their scoring after the 4th. In the Angels series, the one exception was the game on Sunday when they scored 5 in the first 2 innings. But of the 21 runs the Royals scored against the Angels, 15 came after the 4th. Didn't mean to go around. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A ball like a ball rattling around in the Royals dugout.
You go back to the White Sox, and it's almost like they're saying, okay, you got all these pitchers trying to get their fastball established early in the game. You know, they go out and try to ambush them early, but then when they get it all together in the middle of the innings, everything kind of slows down. So that's kind of what it looks like here in the first inning for the Royals, and also the way the Royals come back.
Billy Butler takes off, and Francoeur skies it to center field, and that's the end of the inning. So the Royals answer the White Sox with 2 in the bottom of the first, and Alex scored his first home run of 2011. "4-2 Chicago to the second inning. White Sox with 4 in the first. Paul Konerko had a 3-run home run. The Royals 2 in the bottom of the first. Alex Gord had a 2-run home run. And now Brent Morrell tries to bunt his way on against Luke Hochevar. So it's Morrell playing at third base, not former Royal Mark Teahan. White Sox traded for him 2 off seasons ago, thinking he might be the long-term solution at third base, but now they're talking about making him a super utility player. The super being he's not just an infielder or an outfielder, He has utility on the infield and in the outfield.
Well, Morel is there for his defense. That's his #1 goal. As far as his value to the White Sox right now, I again say he doesn't really expect him to hit, but if he does hit, it'd be a bonus. But it's the defense they're looking for right now.
That is newly married Martin. Married Lauren during the offseason. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's got to be a little disappointment for Mark too. I mean, he goes over here, gets a 3-year deal, and expects to play every day and contribute to the White Sox, and things just haven't gone his way. I think defensively is kind of where it suffered the first for him over there, which is something that we never really thought he'd have to worry about, is his defense.
2-2 on Morel, and a very painful foul ball for Matt Trainer. I don't know how much it hurt, but I'm sure it rattled his cage.
That's the old style mask that the hockey mask would have just glanced off, but that one that catches that little wire sticking out and turns it around in your face.
Line to right field. Frank Boer backs up, and there is 1 out. Let's take a look at tonight's video fan question of the night.
Hi, I'm Sean Collins. This is my wife.
I'm Tiffany Collins. We got a question for the guys up in the booth. The last game, Tim Collins pitched 3 innings, and we were wondering.
We want to know when he can pitch again.
Well, last name Collins. Beard going. Looks like Tim a little bit, doesn't he?
He does a little bit. A lot taller.
Well, what do you think, Frank? Off day yesterday and 3 innings on Sunday. Think he's available tonight?
I don't think so. I think that they would probably give him 2 days off this early in the year. This is first as long as stint he had during spring training. So I'd say he'd probably be ready to go tomorrow.
Tim Collins, Aaron Crow, Nate Adcock, Jeremy Jeffress, 4 rookies making their Royals debut over the weekend. And with the exception of Jeffress, 3 guys making their big league debut and seem completely unfazed by the whole thing. On the ground to Chris Getz. Oh, a much better start for Luke Hochevar. 2 up, 2 down in the 2nd inning. Southwest Airlines will show us what the White Sox did first time through, and what they did was make a lot of noise. Juan Pierre opened the game with a triple. Gordon Beckham drove him home. So 5 pitches into it, and the White Sox led 1-0. And then 2 batters later, Paul Konerko hit a long 3-run home run. And now a strike on Beckham. Getting back to the White Sox struggles early in the season. Last year, Gordon Beckham hit .216 in the first half. He's off to a good start this year, and he's 2 for 2 tonight.
You know, again, Luke could be more successful when he's down. This is a breaking ball that stayed up in the zone, and Gordon Beckham was right there to meet it. And there's still a few guys around. You get the breaking ball up, they know what to do with it. He gets a line drive by Vilas at third base. Now, he's been using the field a lot more too. I saw we had a home run at right field the other day, so he's really a lot different hitter this time of year than was last year this time.
Adam Dunn just missed a home run his first time up. Blasting one deep into the right field corner. He settled for a walk. And then he, along with Beckham, scored on Konerko's home run. Out of Trainer's glove, but Beckham isn't going anywhere.
Adam Dunn is one of those guys like Jim Thome that comes up in the 9th inning of a tie ball game, and you play in a home game, and all the fans on their feet to anticipate the home run. Not a lot of guys in the league you do that for, but he'd be one of those guys that the fans would definitely be on their feet looking for a home run out of this guy.
Three balls, no strikes. every day he adds to a number that I'm sure he's not very proud of. But this will be for him game number 1,453 consecutively with no trips to the postseason, and that is the longest streak of any current major league player. So I'm sure the money helped because he got a big contract from the White Sox, but signing with Chicago, he knows he has a good shot of making it to the postseason. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the player right behind him on the list, we just got done seeing him, Vernon Wells, who played his entire career with the Blue Jays and now in his first season with the Angels. Full count, so Beckham will be running, and Keela backs off of him for a little extra range on the right side, and the Royals are really protecting the right side. Chris Getz is playing out in shallow right field. That might have hit Adam Dunn, and it did. It was either hit him by a pitch or ball 4. The big difference being is because he was hit by a pitch, it's a dead ball. Otherwise, Gordon Beckham would have gone to third base.
Well, you only have to wonder what was the intent here. I mean, that's a big miss on 3-2 right there.
So that puts 2 on again. In fact, the same 2 base runners for Paul Konerko that were on in the first inning. And Konerko hitting a long home run to left field off of Luke Hochevar, hitting the windows of the Royals Hall of Fame. This time Hochevar goes with a breaking ball for strike 1.
Well, this is back in the first, and Luke missed with a fastball inside, and Paul Konerko got the fat part of the bat on the ball, and it hit up against the glass there in the Hall of Fame. That was a shot.
On the ground to Escobar, and the Royals get the force at second base, and they hold the White Sox scoreless. Last time Matt Trainer took a swing, he had a walk-off against the Angels on Sunday. He'll be coming up in the bottom of the second inning. To Chicago to the bottom of the second inning. Alcides Escobar, Matt Trainer, and Chris Getz against Gavin Floyd. Escobar, 17 at-bats, 3 hits against the Angels, and drove in his first run. This is the first time he has faced Gavin Floyd. with one out in the bottom of the first inning, and right after Chicago scored 4, Melky Cabrera singled and Alex Gordon hit a 2-run home run. Billy Butler also had a base hit in the first inning. And now Escobar goes up the middle, and the Royals have the leadoff man on. Here's tonight's You Call It question presented by Sprint. What is your favorite season by a rookie reliever? Text 432-432. Enter keyword Royals, a space, A for Doug Bird in 73, B for Tom Gordon in 89, C for Mike McDougal in 03, and D for Joakim Soria in 07. Ball 1 to Matt Trainer. Well, we want you to participate as it is, but we also want you to register for a chance to win a suite here at Kauffman Stadium for you and 11 guests. So when you text in, you will get a bounce back text message, which will give you all of the details. I don't know a whole lot about Doug Bird's career with the Royals, but I do remember he had quite a streak without allowing a walk. And I believe, as strange as it is, the second longest streak belonged to Paul Bird. No relation, different spelling. But Paul Bird had a nice stretch one year of innings without a walk and was trying to catch Doug Bird.
Bird
is the word.
I think Doug Bird had to do that, what they call a palm ball. I mean, he'd be warming up in the bullpen when the bullpen was facing the field, when the catcher's back was to the field, and the right fielder would have to duck sometime because the ball ended up out on the field.
Who throws a palm ball today?
Nobody.
That's kind of a pitch of the past, isn't it? A slide step, and it's 2-1 on Trainer, who is yet another Royal who has a home run in his career against Gavin Floyd. He only has 4 career at-bats against Floyd.
We'll get Paul to explain the palm ball in the post-game show.
It was used as a changeup, right?
It was kind of a changeup pitch, yeah, and it would go down, but sometimes he would let it go and it would just take off. You know, some guys threw it that way with all the fingers on the ball, and then now they throw more of a circle type change with the 3 fingers on the ball and make the little circle with the index finger and the thumb.
Escobar had 10 stolen bases last year for the Brewers, so not a very big number, but remember we told you over the weekend that 2 years ago in the minor leagues at 2 different levels he stole 46. And in one of the games during the Angels series, Ned Yost had Escobar lead off. Inside, 3 balls and 1 strike. The Royals in the Angels series had 9 stolen bases. On the flip side, the Angels had 1 stolen base. And now a walk. And it really appeared there, Frank, that Floyd was just as concerned with Escobar as he was Trainer. So he's going to hear from his catcher and he's going to hear from the manager. And normally when the manager makes the first trip, that's not a good thing for the pitcher.
Basically, I think he's just trying to say, don't worry about the base runner, be aggressive, throw strikes, and we can throw him out at second base.
Ink Student Nights are back and better than ever in 2011. Students can purchase a ticket for $7 with a valid high school or college ID. Plus, there will be new happy hour specials, including hot dog and beverage for just $7. Tomorrow is Ink Local Music Showcase with support from 96.5 The Buzz, featuring the Sons of Great Dane before the Royals take on the White Sox. A 1:10 game. The gates will open at 11:30. Tonight is a T-shirt Tuesday, and the gentleman in the center of the screen is modeling the T-shirt for tonight. The first of 7 T-shirt Tuesdays. Very simple, white T-shirt with a baseball right in the center. And KC. White Sox are ready for a bunt from Chris Getz. 1 ball, 1 strike. Chris Getz, of course, coming up through the White Sox organization when he was drafted out of the University of Michigan, so they know that he is a good bunter. And we'll see if he changes his strategy here after getting a chance to swing at a pitch. Seems these days, Frank, that a lot of managers are giving hitters, especially early in the game, 1 pitch to swing at and drive, and then after that, at times it becomes a sacrifice situation, but not here. And Getz pops it up to the left side. Ramirez goes out from shortstop. 1 away.
I think a lot of times you look at the game itself and the way the game is going, and a lot of managers in this situation, there was a great opportunity to bunt right there and get 2 runners in scoring position, but a lot of managers like to play for the big inning early and then do the bunting later. But there was a great opportunity there to utilize Getz in a different way.
So first time through, 2 runs, 4 hits for the Royals against Floyd. And with Escobar at second, Trainer at first, Mike Aviles digs in for the second time. He was out in a fly ball to center first time up. Swings over the top. No balls, 1 strike.
And one of the tough things about managing is that you got to try to figure out when to build a guy's confidence, a hitter's confidence. And if you make him bunt every time he comes up, then all of a sudden his confidence starts to go down. And so the fine line is trying to decide, okay, when is a good time to build a confidence and when is a good time to make him bunt.
And now Aviles frustrated with himself, so he's going to walk away to cool off. No balls, 2 strikes. Didn't mean to make contact with that pitch.
He opens up, and this ball's running in on him, and he commits with his upper body, and the bat came out in the strike zone, and the ball just nipped into the bottom of the bat.
Struck him out on 3 pitches. So first and second, nobody out, becomes first and second and 2 down. Gavin Floyd picked a good spot for his first strikeout of the night.
Did a good job running that fastball up and in on Mike and get him thinking inside, and then he goes away, and all Mike could do was just reach for it and sort of flail for it. And if he hits it, it's good for him because now he's got a chance to get a better pitch, but this pitch was too far to reach.
Runners go, and the pitch is outside, and the runners move up. So a double steal puts Escobar at third and Trainer at second.
A lot of times the catcher predetermines where he's going to throw the ball on the steal, so normally they go for the trail runner because he normally doesn't get as good a jump, but they wouldn't hold him at first, trying to hit the big jump, so he went for third base.
Old foul. Well, we haven't seen a lot of Melky Cabrera as a Royal. We've seen him in a Yankee uniform, and last year the Royals played the Braves in interleague play, and with every swing early in the count, we're reminded of how aggressive he is, and his single in the first inning was on the first pitch from Floyd. Now he's down 1 ball, 2 strikes. Traditionally, a number 2 hitter is someone that normally has to take a lot of pitches to allow the leadoff man, who normally has good speed, a chance to steal second base.
Well, that is true, and Melky, sometimes when the average is not where you want it and you're struggling a little bit, you want to get the first fastball out over the plate, you don't want it to pass out, you're trying to make a good swing on it. So he had some success the first time up, and he was trying to look to back it up right here. That's one of the things that hitters early in the season, like you said and Sunday's game, that you can build your numbers up fast this time of year. So when if you're hitting like 215, 220, there's no reason to panic now because you can build that up a couple of games. You're way up there.
3 balls, 2 strikes. So Melky comes back from 1-2. And with Alex Gordon waiting on deck, even though there's an open base, Melky Cabrera should get a decent pitch to hit. Alex hit a 2-run home run his first time up tonight. And it is through the right side. Trainer comes around third and beats the throw. The Royals have tied the game, and Cabrera is into second base. So the double steal ends up being a big play.
The double steal was a huge play, Ryan, and you called it. With Alex coming up after hitting a home run, Cabrera was going to get a pretty good pitch to hit, and he did it, hit it into right field. And at the end of this, he stays right on this pitch here, hits right on it. You can see that he met it in a good spot, and he knew right away this ball was going to be hit. And he knew to run on second base trying to score. So his job now is to get in the eyesight of the first baseman, Paul Konerko, force him to cut this ball, and then he hustles into second base. So great job on both ends by Melky Cabrera.
And now he's in scoring position for Alex, who hit a long home run to center field in the first, his second career home run against Gavin Floyd, and his first this year. So the Royals were down 4-0 very early in the top of the first inning, and it didn't take them very long to come back. And Alex hits it hard but foul off to the right field side.
We take a look at how easy he hits the ball, and if he stays close, Ryan, he keeps that front shoulder closed and let those hands work for him. He can hit balls like this on a regular basis. Gets in trouble when he opens that front side up a little too fast, and the swing gets a little bit long and slow on the inside pitch.
Poke his bat. Morel makes the play. The Royals tie the game. Melky Cabrera drives in Escobar and Trainer. Steele. Are you ready for Steele? Four ties. The sun fades away. It's like another big offensive game at Kauffman Stadium after 3 relatively low-scoring games against the Angels. They wrapped up their series, with a 12-9 game on Sunday. Melky Cabrera with 2 outs after a double steal in the second inning, driving in 2 runs to tie it up. Alex Rios, then Carlos Quentin, and A.J. Pierzynski for the White Sox in the third. Rios singled to right center his first time up. Beckham and Konerko driving in the runs against Hochevar in the first. Konerko's was a 3-run home run. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Alex Rios really struggled for the White Sox 2 years ago after coming over in a waiver deal from the Blue Jays, but put together a nice season last year with 21 home runs, and he stole 34. Escobar to the middle, and Keela was able to keep his foot on the bag.
Well, you see Escobar goes over, sets his feet. He kind of drops his arm a little bit, which forces that ball to run down the line, and Keela does a great job stretching and maintaining contact with the base.
Ball one on Carlos Quinton. He struggled last year in April. He batted just 187, and it didn't get much better in May, batting 234, and that ball's hit hard, but it's right to Escobar. So Hochevar starting to get the ball down, and now his last 3 outs have been on the ground. Make that his last 4 outs. Tonight's You Call It presented by Sprint. Your favorite season by a rookie reliever. A. Doug Bird, B. Tom Gordon, C. Mike McDougall, D. Joaquim Soria. And as of right now, Doug Bird in 1973 is a favorite at 44%. So we have a little older audience tonight.
Got some alumni fans out there.
One ball and 1 strike. A.J. Pierzynski flied to center. First time up. He hit safely in all 3 of the White Sox Indians games over the weekend.
They can really see the difference in the movement in Luke's fastball when he gets it down, how much sink he has and gets his ground balls.
Got that in on the hands. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
So you go back to the first inning here, Ryan, and you can get a look at these pitches. It's up to Pierre, up to Beckham, in Paul Konerko's wheelhouse, up to Rios, and now he's back on the ground again.
Boy, Matt Trainor's been dinged twice already tonight.
Well, those are the guys that I always wonder if the starting pitcher ever just take them out for dinner after the game. Hey, thanks for getting beat up for them back there, because they do take a beating. And they come right back the next day ready to play.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
You always see these pitchers, when catchers take one like that, they don't ever walk down and say, "Are you okay?" You know, they just get back on the mound and let's go.
But if any of the other 8 guys has something happen like that, they bring out the cavalry of trainers and coaches and doctors. Three balls, 2 strikes. Alexi Ramirez is on deck. 8 came to the plate in the first inning, 4 scored, and then Luke faced 5 in the second, with 2 reaching, and now trying to get the White Sox in order and having a long battle with A.J. Pierzynski. Pierzynski is a .300 career hitter against the Royals. That goes back to his days with the Minnesota Twins, but for whatever reason, the last 2 years, he has really lit up the Royals. .367 last year, and then .418 the year before that. And that ball's hit hard and foul off to the right field side. And he knows all about getting dinged up behind the plate. He has been an Iron Man of sorts over the last 9 years, catching at least 1,000 innings a year in those last 9. He is 0 for 2 tonight. Luke Hochevar has a 1-2-3 inning, and all outs are on the ground. On the left is Sergeant Brian Bighead Wilson of the Lee Summit Police Department. He has volunteered countless hours to visit and encourage the athletes of the Special Olympics of Missouri. Each February, Sergeant Wilson participates in the Polar Bear Super Plunge, dipping into the frozen waters of Longview Lake. Billy Butler, for the second time tonight, hit a rocket off the Gavin Floyd. He singled first time up. This time he lines to short. But anyway, Sergeant Wilson jumps into the frozen waters of Longview Lake once an hour for 24 hours. Usually those polar bear guys, you know, they jump in once, splash around for a while and get out. But once an hour for 24 hours. So Buck would be proud to have him in his seat tonight, although Buck might say, hey man, what are you thinking?
He probably had his flu shot. That's what I would say. What are you thinking?
Here's the trademark Gavin Floyd curveball, and it's a strike to Keela. He flied out first time. Did he go? No swing. Hunter Wendelstedt is the umpire at third base with his game face on. White Sox 4 in the top of the first. Alex Gordon hit a 2-run home run in the bottom of the first, and Melky Cabrera hit a 2-run single in the bottom of the second. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Keela. Gavin Floyd trying to put his month of April struggles behind him, and his first start of the season tonight was feeling pretty good before he even figured out the slope of the mound tonight. He had a 4-run lead. And Keela takes the count from 0-2 to 3-2.
Well, typical starts. Luke came out up in the zone and got hit hard early. Gavin Floyd the same way. Came out up in the zone and Ross took advantage. I think the 2 stolen bases were the big 2 runs that really got the Royals back in the game and turned that inning around.
Change up, strikes out Keela, and that's Floyd's second strikeout. Fox Sports Kansas City's Royals Replica Jersey Day returns on April the 16th, and the first 20,000 fans attending the Royals Mariners game receive a Road Gray replica jersey. For more information, you can call the Royals or visit royals.com. And now Floyd is pounding the strike zone. 0-1 on Jeff Francoeur. Like Luke Hochevar, Floyd trying to have a 1-2-3 portion of the third inning, but Francoeur almost took his cap off with a base hit into center field.
The one thing that you can't do with a guy like Jeff Francoeur, you can't hang the breaking ball out over the plate, and he had a long time to see this pitch, and he met it right in the middle of the plate and hit it just like he's taught to hit it, right back through the middle. And I'd have to think Gavin Floyd's light kind of passed right in front of his eyes on that ball. That was a shot right back by his head.
Escobar led off the second inning with a single, and the Royals had first and second, nobody out. And then it was first and second and 2 out. And then Escobar and Matt Trainer took off for a double steal, which really paid off because Melky Cabrera's base hit, because of the steal, scored 2.
And the Royals were 9 out of 10 before those 2 steals. And Francoeur, he will run also.
8 stolen bases last year. There he goes, and Pierzynski doesn't even bother. He just throws it right back to Floyd.
It was almost like Gavin Floyd never saw him over there. He broke before Gavin Floyd lifted his leg. I mean, he could have been there standing up. Only one that saw him was AT Pierzynski. Look at there. He's got 3 steps, 4 steps, 5 steps before he even released the ball. There was no chance for AJ. Ooh, I got to watch that slide though.
hop to Beckham, a tricky hop, but he stays with it, and that's the end of the inning. Yeah, it won't. Tied at 4 and ball 1 from Luke Kochevar to Alexi Ramirez. White Sox with 4 in the first inning, and now Kochevar with 2 scoreless innings. His last 5 outs have been on the ground. Had a tough time getting the ball down in the first 2. Alexi Ramirez hit a soft line out to second base to end the first inning. Beckham drove in a run. Konerko drove in 3 with a home run in that 4-run first. And then the Royals with 2 in the bottom of the first on an Alex Gordon home run, and 2 in the bottom of the second on a Melky Cabrera 2-run single. Ramirez, Brent Morel, and the top of the order in Juan Pierre. 4-pitch walk. Kochevar didn't walk anyone in his first start against the Angels on Thursday, and now this is his second walk tonight. Here's tonight's Roadrunner Turbo speed pitch comparison. Gavin Floyd at 92 and Luke up there at 95. Let's get back to that in a moment. Now fast is even faster. Double your speed with Roadrunner Turbo from Time Warner Cable. The reason I want to get back to that is you look at the radar gun and you go, wow, 95. Now that's a high end for Luke, but sometimes pitchers who rely on movement, they would rather be on the lower side of their pitch range than the higher side, because on the lower side typically you're getting more movement, and the harder you throw, sometimes that pitch that's supposed to sink or cut straightens out.
It just straightens out and it rides high in the zone, and that's when you get it up, and that's when it gets hit. So you have your maximum, like you say, at 95, but you have your working range, which could be 92 with more movement, and Luke really needs his sinker to work to set up his other pitches.
I've heard a lot of pitching coaches or catchers or broadcasters, whomever, and talking to them and trying to learn about a pitcher. You know, what does he throw? What's his velocity? And it's very common for someone to say, well, he throws anywhere from 90 to 94, but he's better at 90 than he is at 94.
Well, you hear that a lot, and it was really the case with Zach when he was pitching. You know, he could get it up there 97, 98, but it was more effective when he was a little bit lower in the 95 range. But all your sinker ballers should work probably 3 miles per hour under what their maximum fastball range is, because of the fact that it does straighten out the harder you throw.
The faster it gets up there, the less time it has to sink or cut.
Right.
And now Luke is distracted by Ramirez. 13 stolen bases for Alexi Ramirez last year. White Sox were second in the American League last season in stolen bases. However, they only had one in their weekend series with the Indians. Right center field, and slices back toward Frank Boer. So Ramirez is back to first, one away. Coming up on Friday, April the 15th, we have two fan favorites here at Kauffman Stadium. The Royals will take on the Seattle Mariners at 7:10. It's Buck Night, so hot dogs, small Pepsi products, and peanuts are just $1 each. And then after the game, a great fireworks spectacular presented by Hy-Vee and Pepsi. Go to Royals.com/fan-value. Pierre grounds it, backhanded by Keela. Out at second. No double play because of Pierre's speed. But an excellent play by Keila Kaihue. And for a moment, it looked like the White Sox would have runners at first and third.
Well, they sure looked that way. Keeler did a great job just coming off the bag and staying with this ball. You can see him get himself set. The ball's hit. Nice play right there. He set his feet to make that throw, which is what I really liked about that, because he was more or less concerned with getting that one out, because a lot of times you throw off the wrong foot, the ball goes into left field. You know, Escobar gets a nice throw and makes a nice return throw. Luke hustles over, gets himself in position, but Juan Pierre is a little too fast for that play.
Juan Pierre is not slowing down with age at all. Last year, as a 32 and then 33-year-old, he set a new career high with 68 stolen bases. That led both leagues, and the Royals thought he might be running here. Ball one on Gord Beckham. He also tied Otis Nixon for the major league record of at least 50 stolen bases for 4 different teams. He's had 50 stolen bases for the Marlins, for the Cubs, for the Dodgers, and now for the White Sox.
Yeah, it comes with experience, Ryan. You know, you do it so many times, so often that now you're an older player, you're a lot smarter, you know how to pick your spots a little better, read pitches a little bit better. It's got to help you.
And he's running. Trainer gets a pitch up, and the throw down to second comes in on a short hop. So it was a difficult play for Chris Getz. And Juan Pierre has his first stolen base of the season.
Well, Matt had a legitimate shot at getting him right here. Luke does a great job getting this ball up. He has a nice ball to throw. And if that ball could have been handled, maybe a different glove angle, rather than coming up with it, just go down one knee, take the hop with the glove facing the infield, he might be able to catch that ball and go down.
One ball, one strike on Beckham, who has 2 hits, an RBI, and a run scored tonight. Popped up. Escobar and Getz are out. Cabrera is in, and the inning is over. says, I've got it once, I've got it twice, I've got it 3 times. That's the rule, right, Frank?
That's the rule. That's what they're taught to at least say it 3 times and make sure that the infielder hears you coming in.
And then he looks at the camera. Watch this. How you doing? Matt Trainer, Chris Getz, and Mike Aviles coming up here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Trainer walked and stole a base. The Royals have 3 stolen bases tonight, 2 of them on 1 play, and now have 12 in 13 attempts in their first 5 games. Two balls, 1 strike. Let's go down to Joel.
Well, Ryan, Matt Trainer is highly regarded around all of baseball, so no surprise that after the walk-off home run, the first of his career on Sunday, he received about 40 text messages. Then he said he couldn't fall asleep till about 2 in the morning, so you figure he slept all day and relaxed on Monday? No, he went house hunting. Seems to have found that in a place here in Kansas City.
Thanks, Joel. And speaking of stolen bases, here are the league leaders, brought to you by your Kansas City area Toyota dealers. And the Royals have a nice lead over the Seattle Mariners, and then it goes all the way down to the Yankees. How about that? An 8 stolen base gap from the team with the most and the team with the 3rd most. And April is not usually a running month because the weather is so cold.
Well, the Royals have been real fortunate weather-wise, but I think the plan to keep running right out of spring training and staying with that, I think you keep your players in an aggressive mode, and they really look to run when they get on the bases. They really had a crash course in base running. I mean, Doug Sisson and teaching them how to run the bases, how to make the turns, and then you had John Watson and Rusty Coates teaching them how to get their leads and breaks, and it just created such a big confidence when he says, hey, and they just said, hey, all you guys are on your own. Go do what you got to do. And he just told them all to go out there and steal some bases. If you make a mistake, we won't say anything, and I think that paid dividends.
Gets grounds to Konerko, swinging at a 3-0 pitch.
Take a look at this pitch coming down and in. Chris, he just kind of gets out front a little bit and rolls over the top of it. You can see that come off that backside, Ryan, how he brings that leg up with him and stays back on that backside. It makes a better swing. But when you come off the backside, your swing gets a little longer, and you just don't have any bat speed when you hit the ball.
Mike Aviles has flied to center and struck out. One and one. So Aviles is 3 out of 16 to begin the season. Hit his first home run on opening day. 2 balls, 1 strike. It off of his foot, and Aviles goes down to a knee. If you want to be specific, good sinkers are hit on the ground and the infield stays busy. Great sinkers are fouled down by the hitter's feet.
All around your feet, and you get a lot. Those are the ones that Ryan that come in and just turn straight over and go straight down. A lot of the two seamers, the pitchers so they run into the hitter, which will make him also do that. But you want that one that turns over and he beats it in the ground.
Tough night for Aviles. Floyd has his 3rd strikeout. Kochaver gave up 4 in the first inning, then Gavin Floyd gave up 4 in the first 2 innings, but now they both have settled down.
Well, now you get to see the talent of the pitchers come out right here, Ryan. Both guys have gone back to their signature pitches, hitting the ball down with movement, create ground balls, and moving the game along.
Up among the stars in right field, and if it ever comes down, Jeff Francoeur is going to make the catch. Francoeur smiling over Melky Cabrera. He wondered that thing was ever going to come down. So Adam Dunn puts one in play for the first time. And one out to Paul Konerko, who has a 3-run home run. And he is grounded into a fielder's choice. So Luke Kochaver, 4 batters into it tonight, had allowed 4 runs. But since that 4-run first inning, he has given up 1 hit. And that's popped up. A little easier play for Francoeur. And there are 2 down in the 5th inning. And now Luke gets Alex Rios. Rios singled his first time up, and that was his first hit of the season. He was 0 for 12 against Cleveland. Is also grounded out to short. So the numbers were not pretty for him. He was also 1 for 14 in his career against Kochaver before the game began. So 1 hit and 3 base runners for the White Sox since that 4-run first inning. Good hard breaking ball, and it's just outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, you really have to take your hat off to Luke right now, Ryan. He said, okay, I made my mistakes. I got the ball up, and the 2 home runs he gave up his first start, he credited to being aggressive in the strike zone early. So he got ambushed early, and then he settled down and got back to pitching, and he's done very well. But you can see right here, he in Fox mode, he just really gets a good hip turn here, and he just drops and drives off that backside, and that just drives the ball downhill like the pitch right there.
Popped up again. This one will stay on the infield. So Luke continues to pull it together after a rough first inning. We are tied at 4 to the bottom of the 5th. fastest mobile broadband network. By Panera Bread. Taste the difference freshness can make with Panera Catering. Order online now at panera-kansas.com. And by Chevy. See your Kansas City area Chevy dealers. Melky Cabrera, Alex Gordon, and Billy Butler. Melky 2 for 2. He has scored a run. He has driven in 2. And his 2-out, 2-run single tied the game at 4 in the second inning. So both starting pitchers pulling it together after struggling early. Luke Hochevar gave up 4 in the first inning. He's retired 10 of the last 11. Gavin Floyd gave up 2 in the first, 2 in the second. He's retired 7 of the last 8. Gavin Floyd was the first-round pick of the Phillies back in 2001. He was the 4th overall pick. And 5 years later, he was traded to the White Sox for Freddie Garcia in a deal that worked out a lot better for Chicago than it did Philadelphia. Melky is retired for the first time tonight. Here is tonight's AT trivia question. Who are the 4 Royals to ever win the American League stolen base title? Willie Wilson. Right?
Yeah, definitely. I put Willie in there. Freddie Patek.
Really?
Amos Otis.
How about Johnny Damon?
It was either here or Carlos Beltran, one of those two. Those are just names.
Just names. Good breaking ball for a strike. 0-2 to Alex. He had a 2-run home run in the bottom of the first inning and popped out in the second. A home run to center field. The Royals really needed that. That was right after Chicago scored 4 in the top of the first. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now apparently we've answered the trivia question.
Oh, we have?
Yeah. You know, producer Kevin Schenk sometimes is very difficult to please. Because if we don't make any choices at all, what's he going to say to us in our ears?
Make choices.
Well, who do you think it is? And then when we do start making selections and guesses and we're right, we get chewed on for that. So what does a guy do?
Keep on trying.
So apparently it's Willie Wilson, Freddie Patek, Amos Otis, and Johnny Damon. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Alex. When Alex had that great minor league season playing for you in 2006 in Wichita, he had 22 stolen bases and was only thrown out 3 times.
He used to get some great leads too. I mean, that's what I say. If he just plays the way Alex Gordon knows how to play, the fans will have a great opportunity to see a very talented player do some big things.
So Gavin Floyd now is retired 9 of 10, 2 down in the 5th inning. So Frank, who are the 4 Royals to ever win the American League stolen base title? How about that? Are we good or are we good?
We're pretty good. We've been warned.
Yeah. What that means is now we're going to get impossible questions. Billy singled in the first and lined to short in the third. So he's had 2 good swings against Gavin Floyd tonight. He has also extended his long streak of at least 1 hit per series. 105 consecutive series. Only Nick Markakis of the Baltimore Orioles has a longer streak among current players. Last year, Billy had 12 RBIs against the White Sox. Gavin Floyd hits the inside corner, 2 balls and 1 strike. Three and one. So on one hand, both managers were disappointed, I'm sure, with the early results of their starting pitchers tonight, giving up all those runs, but at the same time have to be encouraged by the way that they have hung in there.
Well, Ozzie went out to speak to Gavin Floyd, and Gavin obviously listened to what he had to say. He definitely responded. Luke, I think, just realized what he had to do and got back to it, and he's had success to this point in the ball game.
So the lines aren't very pretty right now, but all of those runs were very early in the game tonight. Billy gets tied up this time, and Ramirez has plenty of time to throw him out. So Gavin Floyd has retired 10 of the last 11. And the highlights came early. Juan Pierre opened the game with a triple. Gordon Beckham drove him home, so 2 batters into it. White Sox had a 1-0 lead, and then 4 batters into it after this home run from Paul Konerko. It was 4-0 Chicago. But in the bottom of the first, Alex Gordon hit a 2-run home run, and in the bottom of the second, Melky Cabrera drove in 2 runs. That tied the game, and we're still tied at 2 as the White Sox bat in the 6th inning. Luke Hochevar has retired 10 of the last 11. Gavin Floyd the same. Off the end of the bat, and it's over Escobar. Carlos Quinton is 1 for 3. Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Corporation. Ryan Lefevre with Frank White, Joel Goldberg, producer Kevin Shank, director Steve Kurtenbach, associate producers Al Broughton and Sam Abramson. And the producer of Royals Live is TJ McGinnis. AJ Pierzynski, after getting 5 hits in the Indian series, is 0 for 2 tonight. Carlos Quinton normally is not a threat to run. I told you earlier that the White Sox finished second last year in the American League in stolen bases, but Quinton only contributed 2. Popped up. Melke makes the play in center field, and Pierzynski is 0 for 3. We hope you'll join Major League Baseball and the Major League Baseball Players Association in helping Japan's children in need. Visit unicef.org or text Japan to 864-233 to donate $10. Standard text messaging and transactional fees apply. For more information, visit MLB.com/Japan Relief. Could you believe what you were seeing when that video was coming in from Japan after the tsunami?
Not at all.
I mean,
just one big wave of cars and everything going down the road, on the highway. It's unbelievable. Just can't underestimate the power of walking. It's just devastating.
Alexi Ramirez walked his last time up, and he's also lined out to second base. 1-1. It has not been a banner night so far for Luke as far as ground ball to fly ball ratio. However, when the White Sox over the last 4 innings have been able to elevate the ball, Luke has been able to keep the ball off the barrel of the bat. And we told you that his start against the Angels in the first 3 innings, everything was either on the ground or a strikeout, and then started to get the ball up in the 4th inning. The Angels scored 2 runs and then 2 more against him in the 6th. There have been several fly ball outs tonight, but since the first inning, very few of them have been centered. 2-2.
You can almost tell by the way Matt Trainer's catching the ball and not able to hold on to it sometimes. The ball's got a lot of late movement to it, and that's a good indication of why they haven't been able to square the ball. Even Carlos Quentin's hit was off the end of the bat, and so Luke's, when that ball's down, it seems to have a little more life to it.
Into the opposite field and down into the corner. Quentin doesn't run great. Francoeur has a strong arm. They're going to wave Quentin home, and the throw from right gets away from Getz. So the White Sox take the lead, and Ramirez is into third base with a triple.
You take a look at this pitch. He was away from him. He went out, went with it down the line, and ball just went slicing into the corner. Quentin gets a great jump on this ball, and when Francoeur gets this ball, his throw to the relay man really took him towards second base and not toward home plate. So that's why he never got a good throw to home plate on that play.
And now number 9 hitter Brent Morrell. So runner at third and 1 out, and the Royals bring the infield in. Morrell has flied out twice tonight, and that's what he hopes to do at the very minimum in this at bat. Both times to right field. Last year, Brent Morrell got his first major league hit against the Royals, and it was a home run. Hit it off of Bruce Chen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Former 3rd round pick of the White Sox, and as Frank told you earlier tonight, at this point in his career, known more for his glove. Two balls, 1 strike. White Sox also used Diane Viciedo at third base last year, but he starts this season on the disabled list. Injured a hand during spring training when he was hit by a pitch. Here comes the squeeze, and Morrell bunts it, and it just rolls foul. That thing looked like it was going to die in the grass, and it just took a right turn.
Well, it was a well-timed play, but on a squeeze bunt, you don't want to bunt the ball down the line. You want to get the ball out in front of the plate But when the ball rolled off the edge of the grass, it had that momentum that took it right across the foul line and made this ball foul. But that's just too close to the line for a squeeze bunt.
And Ozzie Guillen really using the element of surprise with the count 2 balls and 1 strike. I mean, that's a hitter's count to swing, not to bunt.
Yeah, the timing was perfect on both the runner coming down, Ramirez from third, and Morel executing the bunt play.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Aaron Crow begins to throw out in the left field bullpen, as Luke Hochevar's pitch count has gone above 90. Good pitch. So this time around, Morel unable to fly out, and Hochevar picked a good spot for his first strikeout.
Well, he came back with a real hard slider right on the outside part of the plate down, and Morel couldn't hold up. Excellent strikeout right there for Luke Hochevar.
It's interesting, when Morel went back into the dugout, Ozzie Guillen came over to pat him on the shoulder, and that's probably a manager remembering what it was like as a player and having 2 balls and 1 strike taken away from you. He already has 2 flyouts tonight. Another flyout gets the runner home from third. So Ozzie appreciates that the young player did what he could and doesn't want Morel to let that at bat ruin the rest of his night.
Well, that's true, and you want to always maintain the confidence in a guy as a hitter. Also, I know that Ozzie's not looking for a lot in terms of his offense, but you know, a sac fly right in that situation, 2-1. I mean, it's got to be your pitch right there. That's your hitting count. So to take that away, then he's got to make sure that Morel still has that confidence. Hey, I didn't do this because I didn't think you'd get it done. I called it because I thought it was a good time to call the play.
Off the plate, going to be a tough play. Aviles cuts across the infield, but he can't find the grip, and the White Sox lead 6-4.
Pierre just chops this ball over the mound. Mike goes across, right, and just sort of runs by it a little bit, you know. And that ball got a little behind him, and he just mishandled when it went in his glove. He could have kept the ball out in front of him. It would have been a little bit easier to play, but he got on top of it and never could get the grip on the ball.
It is an error on Aviles. So no RBI for Juan Pierre. And now the defense has to be heads up with his speed at first. And ball 1 to Gordon Beckham. Beckham was singles in his first 2 at-bats. He drove in a run and scored in the first inning. 4 runs in the first, and then Luke Hochevar with 4 scoreless innings. And he had retired 10 of 11 before Carlos Quentin got this inning going with a single. And now Chicago has scored 2. Two balls and no strikes. Couple of first-round picks hooking up here. Hochevar for the Royals in 06, and Beckham for the White Sox in 08. And the very next year, he was starting for Chicago. 2 balls, 1 strike. A long first inning, 23 pitches, 4 runs scored, and then the 4 scoreless innings, and now 21 pitches in the 6th. Getting him right at 100. He threw 102 on Thursday against the Angels in 5 2/3 innings, and he's gone 5 2/3 innings tonight. Juan Pierre stole his first base of the year in the 4th inning. He led the majors last year with 68.
Luke kind of caught him cheating a little bit on that last pickoff attempt. He had taken that step. He decided to stay on that pitch.
Line to center. Melky runs it down to end the inning. White Sox regain the lead. Again, he has had a 4-0 lead, a 4-2 lead. Royals tied the game in the bottom of the second. The White Sox just got 2 in the top of the sixth. One of the runs was unearned. Keela, then Francoeur and Escobar in the sixth. Keela's flied out and struck out. Gavin Floyd has retired 10 of the last 11.
All right, this is our Sonic Slam inning, and our contestant is Donna Bowling from North Kansas City, Missouri. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park this inning, Donna will win $500. But if the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Donna will win $25 grand from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals.
You know, those rules have changed. The home run didn't used to be out of the park. It could be any kind of a home run. Now the grand slam had to be out of the park, but not the home run.
I think they'd have some question on whether it should be a triple or a home run based on how the ball's handled on that last play.
3-1 on Keela. The interesting side note to that was that even though an inside the park grand slam wouldn't win you 25 grand, the Royals have never hit an inside the park grand slam. Three balls, 2 strikes. Floyd just reaching back and letting it fly and challenging Keela to fill out the count.
Yeah, I can only remember one during my playing days that was hit against the Royals. It was Kevin Bell for the White Sox here. This is before they had padding on the wall, and Tom Poquette was in left field, and he was going into the corner to try to cut the ball off. His spikes got caught, and he went face first into the wall, and the ball rolled around to the 385 side, and it became an inside park home run, grand slam.
Well, the Royals have answered the White Sox once tonight, trying to do it again. And Keela down to first with a walk. That's Gavin Floyd's second.
Well, just trying to stay away from him. They know that any fastball on the inner half, he's going to turn on, and they're going to try to make him beat him the other way.
Francoeur takes a fastball for a strike. 1 for 2 tonight, and now 5 out of 8 in his career against Gavin Floyd. Francoeur also has a stolen base. Caught at third by Morel. Well, there's the glove we've been talking about. Francoeur's line drive almost took his left arm out into left field, but what a play.
Unbelievable reaction right here. I mean, you only get one shot at a play like this. The jump has to be perfect, and the ball's got to be perfectly in the webbing of your glove. And I tell you what, you don't have time to think on plays like that. You just hope it all works out, and it did on that play.
And that'll make him feel a lot better after not getting the squeeze bunt down last inning.
Because that ball would have been in the corner, and it would have been pretty ugly for the Sox at that point.
So maybe it helped, maybe it didn't. It didn't hurt that Ozzie Guillen, as you said, patted him on the back to make sure the game didn't get away from him because he didn't get the squeeze down. He comes right back the next half inning and makes a great play on defense.
Yeah, so much of this game is confidence. Whether it be defense, offense, base running, whatever part seemed to come into play at that particular time, that's what's important to that player. So managers ask you to do things that don't make sense sometimes, but as long as he can explain it to you and make it make sense to you and make you believe it, then it's okay with the player.
And if you weren't with us, what may not have made sense to Morel, a runner at third with 1 out. The count was 2 balls, 1 strike. And Morel already had a fly out to right and a line out to right against Luke Hochevar, but Ozzie Guillen asked him to lay down a bunt on a squeeze, and he bunted it foul and then eventually struck out. One and two. One thing we really haven't seen a lot of tonight is a great curveball from Gavin Floyd. And a good sinking fastball. He and Darryl Kyle have been compared to one another. I was talking to Darren Jackson, who's one of the radio voices of the White Sox. Darryl Kyle and Gavin Floyd, the rare sinker curveball pitcher. There's the ground ball out at second, and the White Sox turn a double play, and they get a great defensive play from Morrell in the inning. Game of the series. Pepsi Max is proud to be the official drink of the Kansas City Royals and the Fox Sports Kansas City broadcast booth. Look for these special edition Frank White Pepsi Max cans at your neighborhood Hy-Vee. Who knows, Frank might be standing there holding it for you. New look, same great taste, and 0 calories. Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Well, for Luke Hochevar tonight, it was a start of bookends. A rough first inning, a rough 6th inning, 4 good innings in between. And he's out after 6. Aaron Crow will come on and get a clean inning. So this is a little more like making a start for him. Coming on, pitching out of the windup with nobody on base. More time to warm up and get mentally prepared for the inning. And he throws a strike to Adam Dunn. Dunn walked and scored on the Konerko 3-run home run in the first inning. He was hit by a pitch in the second, and he flied out in the 5th. Paul Konerko after him, and then Alex Rios. Popped up. Keela comes down the line. He goes into foul ground, and he makes the catch. So Aaron Crow, one of 4 rookies in the Royals bullpen. And speaking of rookie relievers, let's revisit tonight's Sprint You Call It. 46% say that Doug Bird in 1973 was their favorite season by a rookie reliever.
That's impressive.
That was your rookie year too, right?
Yes. George is rookie year also.
Look at the movement on that pitch. That pitch was right down the middle, and it just disappeared down and in on Konerko.
Well, you can tell by the way Matt Trainer went to catch his watch. He wants his ball centered, and all of a sudden it just takes off down and in. And that's the way. That's a good way for catchers to get their thumb bruised on a ball runs like that.
85 in on the hands, and that's all Konerko can do with that pitch. I talked to Aaron before the game tonight. He did pitch in relief 5 times his freshman year at MU. That's it. That is the extent of his bullpen experience. So you're talking several years ago. And he really likes the adrenaline of coming out of the bullpen. He likes coming into the game with men on base. And he likes the opportunity to pitch more than once every 5 days. One ball, 2 strikes.
Now that's pretty similar to Zach. Also, when Zach was starting, he didn't like sitting around waiting every 5th day. When he went to the bullpen, his velocity shot from 93 to 94 up to 97, 98. The Aaron Crow today is a couple pitches right now, 97 miles an hour.
Paul Konerko says, "Thank you very much." I'll go back to the dugout. Aaron Crow strikes out his first.
He just comes right after him. That fastball be boring in on that right-hander. I mean, this is just right on the inside corner right here.
Up the middle, off of Gett's glove, and Rios will have a single.
See that Chris goes after this ball here, Ryan. Just hits him right off the heel of his glove. He gets it in the webbing of the glove, he's got a chance to make that play, but when he hit that heel, it's going to come off too hard.
You know, as I was talking to Aaron about pitching out of the bullpen, he brought up the game on Sunday. He said, you know, he was telling somebody else that for 13 innings, if you're a starting pitcher and you're not pitching that day, I mean, you're just going to fall asleep. That's just a long day, and it's easy to stay in the game for a few innings, but after a while your concentration fades. But what he really appreciated about being in the bullpen is that for 13 innings he's out there thinking, is the phone going to ring and call me into the game, and he liked that.
It always amazes you how we do all the evaluating and the projecting and what we think is good for the guys, but you just amaze me what the guy himself is thinking.
Over near the right field line, Francoeur is there. That is a foul ball catch, and it's another scoreless inning for Aaron Crow. For him in the 7th. Here's tonight's Sonic game summary. The White Sox got 4 in the first inning. Paul Konerko with a 3-run home run. The Royals got 2 in the bottom of the first, 2 in the second. Gordon and Cabrera driving in 2 apiece, and then the White Sox with 2 in the 6th inning. And Gavin Floyd will try and give the White Sox 7 innings. He is moving up on 100 pitches. The Royals will send up their 8, 9, and 1 hitters. No balls, 2 strikes. Trainer walked, stole a base, and scored in the second inning. Grounded out in the fourth. He and Alcides Escobar in the second, scoring on Melky Cabrera's 2-run single that tied the game. Strikeout number 5. And now Gavin Floyd has retired 13 of the last 15. Well, it's the goal of every team to get into the bullpen. And the Royals would like to get into the White Sox bullpen, although maybe a little earlier than this. Remember the Angels pen really struggled against the Royals? Well, the White Sox bullpen didn't do very well in Cleveland. Chris Getz punches it through the right side, and he's 1 for 3. Angels bullpen really helped the Royals get back into 3 games. Actually, all 4 games the Royals did something against the Angel bullpen.
Well, you see here, Chris Guest does a better job of staying back on his backside. He leaks just a little bit, but he does a good job of placing the ball in between first and second. But get back to what you say, Ryan. Maybe that's why Ozzy's trying to get one more inning out of Gavin Floyd tonight. Just limit those outs that the bullpen has to get.
8 innings in 3 games at Cleveland and 11 earned runs. It has been a tough night so far for Mike Aviles. 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts, and he committed an error which led to an unearned run in the White Sox 2-run 6th. Chris Getz with 15 stolen bases last year, and Gavin Floyd goes with the slide step. And it's 0-2 on Aviles.
Well, his location's been just perfect on Mike. After that early in the game, they threw him a couple fastballs that ran up and in on him, and a couple sunk down. He hit one off his foot, and then after that, he's just been away.
Left that one out over the plate, and the White Sox turn a double play. Nera takes us around the American League. The Angels beat Tampa Bay after losing 3 out of 4 to the Royals. Jared Weaver's 2-0. Minnesota trying to beat New York. They're in the 10th inning. Cleveland beats Boston. So the Red Sox are 0-4. Toronto defeating Oakland. that Seattle is in, or make that Texas is in front of Seattle, and Texas is off to a 4-0 start. Minnesota, by the way, if they win, that would be quite a deal for them to beat the Yankees. They've lost 14 out of 16 against the Yankees.
I watched that game last night, and it just almost like they had it, and all of a sudden it wasn't there anymore, and they just couldn't break through.
Aaron Crow dominated in the 7th inning, just overpowered the White Sox. Luke Hochevar went the first 6, gave up 6 runs. One of those was unearned. Still 0-2 on Pierzynski. He's 0 for 3. Into center field, a base hit. So Pierzynski is now hit safely in all 4 White Sox games. Let's go down to Joe Goldberg.
Well, Ryan, you guys have been talking so much about the success of Aaron Crow, and now after that strikeout last inning, he, Tim Collins, and Luke Hochevar lead the Royals in strikeouts this year with 6 apiece. And how about the guys that he has been able to strike out? I will give you Bobby Wilson, not an all-star, but listen to the rest of the list. Howie Kendrick, Paul Konerko, Torrey Hunter twice, and Vernon Wells. Think this guy's comfortable in the big leagues?
Oh, with stuff like that, man. I still go back to that pitch that he threw to Konerko in the 7th inning that had Konerko all mixed up. It had Matt Trainer all mixed up, and Trainer knows that pitch is coming, but it had so much movement on it he could barely get his glove on it.
That was definitely late movement right there, and he's fortunate that he didn't get a thumb injury out of that pitch.
Konerko eventually struck out looking and seemed happy just to go back to the dugout.
Plus he threw it on the inner half, which is where he likes the ball.
Off the end of the bat and into the first row and out of the first row. Here are some of those strikeouts that Joel was talking about. All those are with the slider. That's heat. Slider. And let's mix in a Tim Collins hook while we're at it. And Crow goes back to the slider, so word will spread that when Aaron Crow is ahead of you and wants to put you away, be alive for the slider.
As a hitter, it's so tight. It looks like a fastball to the last minute, and it just goes straight down. And I think that's more his deception, and you can see where Trainer's really having a hard time keeping up with this pitch because it is moving right at the last minute. And that's what hitters always want to ask. Well, I don't care exactly what he throws, but what's his out pitch? And his out pitch is slider, so it's up to the hitter to make it be a strike. But he lives on that outside corner with that slider.
Wow, and that pitch may have crossed up Trainer a little bit.
He's getting handcuffed by these pitches. I mean, he's had to turn his glove all the way over. Look at this. I mean, it's almost like he thought the ball was going to be in the dirt, and it just ends up knee high.
One hop to Aviles, down to second one, and no double play. Well, you know what that's like, Frank, getting a throw from the third baseman with the runner right in your lap.
Well, I would have stayed at the base. I would have came across on the third base side and tried to give myself a little bit of time, where Chris really just stays right here and didn't go meet the ball. And I think that would have helped him a little bit in order to help him get his throw with the first. He threw it just flat-footed and didn't really get anything behind the throw. You take one step in, create some weight shift on your right side. Then now you got something to transfer back to first base and get up off the ground with.
So Morel at first, 2 down. Juan Pierre opened the game with a triple, and because he hits the ball so often to the opposite field and he doesn't hit for much power, Royals outfield shifted then, as they are now, over towards left and in, and Juan Pierre hit one to right center field, and there was nobody there. Now Morel runs. Trainer's throw is right on the money. To the bottom of the 8th, Royals trail by 2. Goldberg, let's get a preview.
Well, we will have it all coming to you, Ryan, from Rivals. Maybe we'll hear from Matt Trainer for the 3rd straight game because he has been the hero of the last couple. We'll hear from the Royals, Ned Yost, and Paul Splithoff is going to tell us exactly what Luke Hochaver and Gavin Floyd did to turn around their nice crowd out at Rivals. Hope to see you in just a bit on Boulevard Royals Live.
All right, thank you, Joel. Chris Sale will replace Gavin Floyd in the 8th inning. So Floyd goes 7, gives up 4 runs, and no runs after the 2nd inning. Chris Sale was drafted last year by the White Sox in the 1st round, so the June draft, and by August he was in the big leagues. He only made 11 minor league appearances and pitched very well. The thing that you heard most often about Chris Sale is that he showed no fear at all making the jump from Florida Gulf Coast University, 11 appearances in the minor leagues, and then pitching for a team that was trying to win the American League Central. Right field, Quinton sprints in and gets Melky Cabrera, who is driven in 2 tonight. He is 2 for 4. Well, we hope you'll make plans to come out to Kauffman Stadium on Saturday, April the 16th. Royals will take on the Mariners at 12:10, and the first 20,000 fans will receive a replica Royals jersey presented by Fox Sports Kansas City. Ball 1 on Alex Gordon, who hit a 2-run home run in the 1st inning. His 1st of the year, and his 2nd career home run against Gavin Floyd. White Sox with 4 in the top of the 1st, and that was just 4 batters into the game. Coach Havers settled down for the next 4 innings. Royals got 2 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd to tie it, and then Chicago back out in front with 2 in the 6th. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Gordon. Jeffress getting ready for the top of the 9th. Still 1 and 2.
This is a nice test for Alex right here, because Chris Sale, he's got that lower arm slot, and you got to really stay out over the plate, and you get that arm coming from behind you, you're more or less giving up that outside corner, especially on breaking balls. And Alex did a good job following up that slider right there.
Boy, he'd be a tough guy to hang in on if you're a left-hand batter. Mid-90s, with a very difficult arm angle coming in by way of the second baseman. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Needless to say, Chris Sale became the first member of the 2010 draft to make it to the big leagues. Into left center field. So Alex did hang in there, and he rolls it deep. He'll stop at second base with a 1-out double. So 2 extra base hits for Alex tonight. And the tying run comes to the plate.
Well, it really doesn't get any better than this. Lefty versus lefty, tough lefty, and he just stays right out over the plate and takes the ball to left field. Doesn't try to pull it, doesn't try to roll over. He really hit this ball well, as indicated by it went all the way to the wall. And Juan Pierre couldn't cut this ball off, so that tells you hit this ball right on the smooth.
Billy Butler 1 for 3. A single back in the first inning. He has faced Chris Sale once and is 0 for 1. Low ball 1. Bobby Jenks, the longtime White Sox closer, he signed with the Red Sox during the offseason, so there was an opening for a closer this year. And eventually the White Sox settled on Matt Thornton. But because of how good he pitched last season, Chris Sale was a candidate. Mirko can't run it down. 1 ball and 1 strike on Billy. So he didn't get the job as the closer, but still trusted enough to be the setup man in the 8th inning.
Chris Sale does something a little bit differently than a few pitchers that you see in the league, Ryan. Because left-handed hitters, he pitches on the right side of the rubber. Again, right-handed hitters, he pitches on the left side of the rubber.
Two and one.
One of the main reasons to do that is if you pitch on the left side of the rubber to a left-hander, you appear to almost be behind him when you throw the ball, and you appear to be closer. Then you get on the left side to the right-hander, and that way you don't allow him to be able to see the ball as long as you would if he was on the right side of the rubber.
3 balls, 1 strike. And it might be easy to say, well, you know, he's just moving on the rubber, no big deal. He's still throwing to the same target, but it takes a guy with some pretty good mechanics to be able to move around like that and maintain his control.
And you also have to work around that little hole that's dug out in front of the plate, out in front of the mound there, where that guy before you's been stepping also.
Deep left field. Back goes Pierre all the way back, and Butler ties the game. Once again, the Royals get into the bullpen. And Billy Butler with a long ball with 1 out in the 8th inning.
Well, he kept trying to get him in there, but he didn't get this pitch in there as far as he wanted to, and he kept it down, which makes it a lot easier for the right-handed hitter to get to the ball. And Billy knew right away that he had that one. You could tell in his eyes and the way his body language was after he hit that pitch that this ball was gone.
No balls and 2 strikes on Keela.
The Achilles heel of the White Sox jumps up again. The bullpen is where the Royals have been trying to get on in both these first series of the season. Let's get the starter out, and let's see what we can do with the bullpen. And so far, the Royals have been very successful in the bullpen.
Sale comes back with a strikeout, 2 away. Well, for that White Sox bullpen, that's 8 2/3 innings this year, and 13 runs allowed. And now the former Minnesota Twin, Jesse Crain, will come on to face Jeff Francoeur in the Chevy call to the bullpen. The 8th inning, tonight's Chevy play of the game.
You can see right here, Billy gets all of this, Ryan. There's no doubt. Look at his body language, look at his face. He knew right away the game was tied.
Well, that's what Ned Yost had in mind when he decided to bat Alex Gordon third, because he could stagger his lineup: left-hand batter, right-hand batter, left-hand batter, right-hand batter, creating some matchup problems for the opposing team in the later innings. Not that Chris Sale is incapable of getting Billy Butler out, and he did last year, but for Chris Sale to get to Keila Kaihue, another left-hand batter, he had to get through Billy Butler.
That's the key there, is you got to get through him. And if you haven't had that kind of success coming out of spring training, hopefully this season, it takes a little while to feel comfortable in that situation. You don't want to walk him. And he tried to pound him in with the fastball, but just left one out over the plate.
Billy just making sure that Alex saw that swing. Alex's response was, well, yeah, were you watching in the bottom of the first inning when I went deep? Two balls and one strike from Jesse Crain to Jeff Francoeur, who swung the bat well tonight. 1 for 3. One of his outs is the best defensive play of the game tonight. Line out to Brent Morrell at third, and he's fouled a pitch back in this at bat that he was right on. 2 balls and 2 strikes. White Sox have led 4-0. That was after a half inning tonight. And they have led 6-4. The Royals twice have come back to tie it. And once again, it's late inning magic for the Royals. Still 2-2. Now remember, for years it was going to be Butler and Gordon. Gordon and Butler. It has been tonight.
Well, you have to feel good about Alex and what he's doing to this point, and you just only hope that he can continue to play the way he's playing. Because I know he's got to have a better feeling this year than he had last year.
Another good swing and a base hit for Francoeur. So the go-ahead run is at first base with 2 down. And that means Joaquin Soria will start loosening up.
So you can tell that they really are going after this bullpen of the Chicago White Sox. Anytime they leave the ball out over the plate, they're making good swings and they're getting good hits.
So Jesse Crain going over from the Twins to the White Sox. Minnesota took him in the second round back in 2002. 2 years ago, he was struggling so badly that Minnesota sent him down to AAA, but he was able to put the pieces back together last year and then signed as a free agent with the White Sox. And he was also considered with that closer spot open for 2011. Being a setup man, he doesn't have very good numbers in save situations. But again, that's as a setup man. He is 3 out of 16 in save situations, and you say, boy, that's not very good. But you have to remember, most of the time, a setup man, all he can get is a blown save. You either blow the save or you hand it off to the closer and he gets the save.
Kind of like the running back that takes it all the way down to the 3-yard line, and then you come out and they bring this big overweight guy in. Okay, you take the ball the rest of the way.
The fridge, speaking of Chicago.
You didn't sweat it all the way down. Okay, give it up.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Escobar. Back in 2005, when Jesse Crain got to the big leagues, he took a loss here at KC. It was in July, and that was notable because he had gone 11 straight decisions to begin his career with wins. That's a major league record. 11 straight wins out of the bullpen. Francoeur is picked off. Royals tie the game on Billy Butler's 2-run home run. Jeff Francoeur has 2 hits tonight. He could easily have 3 hits if not for the defensive play of the game, which we'll get to in a moment. First, a Chevy call to the bullpen, and Joakim Soria will get the top of the order. Juan Pierre, Gordon Beckham, and Adam Dunn. A win and a save so far for Soria. Also appeared in that long 13-inning game on Sunday afternoon. Last year, Soria appeared in 7 games against the White Sox. Pitched 6 in the 3rd innings and did not give up a single run. That'll roll foul. And it's 0-2 on Juan Pierre. He's 1 for 4 with a run scored and a stolen base. The White Sox simply cannot run away from the Royals tonight. They got 4 in the top of the 1st inning. Royals tied it in the 2nd. They got 2 in the 6th, and the Royals tied it in the bottom of the 8th. Did he go? No swing.
I think that every game the Royals have played so far, Ryan, they either are coming back or the other team's coming back, and the Royals are coming back. Nobody can run away from them right now. They just feel like they can be, once they get down late in the game, they got a chance to win. They put themselves in a position to get it done.
Back to Soria. Plenty of time to get Pierre. Now you just wonder and you hope that that line drive hit the glove and not Soria's knee. Maybe it hit the outside of his thigh.
That's pretty good reaction time right here to get that glove right in front of that knee like that. If that one hit the knee, you're definitely going to feel it.
Gordon Beckham's had a good night, 2 hits, and he has a line out to center field. Ball 1 down and away. So the Royals have taken Luke Hochevar off the hook. He gave up 6 runs in 6 innings, 1 unearned run, and then Aaron Crow had 2 scoreless innings. 2 balls and no strikes on Beckham. In the bottom of the 9th inning, the Royals have Alcides Escobar, Matt Trainer, and Chris Getz. 3-0. This year, the Royals have scored 27 runs in their 5 games combined. And 17 runs have come in the 5th inning or later. Escobar brings it down, and Beckham is out number 2. Now it's Soria and Adam Dunn. Dunn 0 for 2. He's been on base twice and he has scored a run. He has only faced Joakim Soria once and he's 0 for 1. And that's where Soria wants to stay with Adam Dunn down. 1 ball, no strikes.
You want to stay down firmly to the outer half of the plate. You don't want to give him anything to pull in this situation.
2-0. Royals are guarding the right side with a triangle-like defense. Alcides Escobar has slipped over to the right side of second base. 2-1.
Well, you kind of have to wonder what Adam Dunn was waiting for on that pitch. You know, 2-0, you got to be ready to let it go, and that looks like it's right down the middle of the plate.
3-1. Well, he has tremendous power, but the argument has come up from time to time: is he too patient at the plate? Should he expand his strike zone and be thinking about a home run here rather than a walk?
Well, I would think so. I mean, you're a big guy. You got a chance to win this game for us, and anything within your power that you can handle, you got to try to handle in this situation.
12,641 here tonight. Soria gets the side in order. So we go to the bottom of the 9th. Alcides Escobar and then Matt Trainer. Will he be the hero again? The bottom of the 9th is coming up. Joaquim Soria has an easy top of the 9th inning. So here we are tied to the bottom of the 9th. Let's revisit tonight's defensive play of the game, brought to you by the Home Depot, doing more on defense.
And this is a line drive off the bat of Jeff Francoeur with a runner on first base, and Morel does a great job at third base of getting up and snagging this ball. The ball hit very well.
All three of the Royals' wins this year have come in their last at bat. Alcides Escobar, Matt Trainer, and Chris Getz in the bottom of the 9th against Jesse Crain. Escobar has seen a little bit of Jesse Crain, 3 at bats. In interleague play, the natural rivalry for Minnesota is Milwaukee. Crain pitched for the Twins, and of course Escobar played for the Brewers. Canerco comes down from first base and makes the catch. So Matt Trainer, he tied the game with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning on Saturday with a base hit. And the man on deck, Chris Getz, put the Royals in front. And then, of course, Sunday, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 13th, he won it with a home run. This is his first at bat against Jesse Crain. 0 for 2 tonight. In the 2nd inning, he walked, he stole a base, and he came around to score. Good pitch over the outside, 1-1. Billy Butler tied the game with 1 out last inning, and a 2-run home run off of Chris Sale. And Kevin Seitzer's hitters have 6 runs, 10 hits, 2 home runs tonight. That will be out of play. A very good fielding pitcher. That was not a difficult play. A former pitcher and shortstop in college. Trainer is the 2nd out.
You know what the Royals are doing to start this season, Ryan, is really not any different than what we saw in spring training. It seemed like there were so many games where they came back late and scored a bunch of runs and got themselves back in the victory column. So this is kind of a carryover to what we saw going down to the last 2 weeks of spring training.
Chris Getz, you could see he was kind of scanning the infield to see everyone was playing in case he wants to lay down a bunt. If he wants to drag to the right side, the infield is back, and even if he lays down a bunt to the third base side, Morel isn't all the way in. 1-1.
He's definitely got a shot if he wants to drag it to second base, but with Crain being a good fielder, he's got to make sure he gets a buy-in. If he does that, he's got a chance to beat it out.
If the game gets to the 10th inning, it'll be Robinson Tejeda. That was a swing. Hunter Wendelstedt says with a big smile on his face.
Well, you take a look at it. He breaks that back leg down, and when you do that, it really brings the bat down and around. So it looked like Chris might have went on that one.
And Crain, again, a good fielding pitcher, makes a diving play on the right side. And we will go to the 10th, tied at 6. Innings are presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. All season long. Jack Link's, feed your wild side. So back-to-back extra inning games. Royals and the Angels went 13 on Sunday afternoon. Robinson Tejeda will pitch the 10th inning. The White Sox have Paul Konerko, Alex Rios, and Carlos Quentin. White Sox scored 4 in the top of the first inning tonight and 3 on a Paul Konerko home run. 4 batters into the game, and before many fans could even locate a concession stand tonight, Chicago had a 4-0 lead. The Royals with 2 in the first and 2 in the second to tie it. Chicago got 2 runs in the 6th. One of the runs was unearned, and Billy Butler hit a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th to tie the game again. 2 balls and no strikes. Overall, Konerko is 1 for 4 tonight. He was all geared up for a fastball, and Tejeda took a little bit off, and Konerko's had an awful time against Tejeda. 0 for 12. And Robbie has struck him out 4 times.
Well, Robbie's done a good job of adding and subtracting on his fastball. He's not coming out trying to power with that 96-mile-an-hour fastball anymore. He's been able to develop his changeup a little bit better, and then, like you say, take a little bit off his fastball at times.
If you go by the numbers, this is a great series of hitters for Robinson Tejeda. Paul Konerko 0 for 12. After him, Alex Rios 1 for 7. And after him, Carlos Quentin 1 for 9.
Oh boy.
That pitch stayed up, but Konerko didn't get much of it. Cabrera makes the play. Konerko is 1 for 5. Weekdays at 8 a.m. it's the Dan Patrick Show. Don't miss exclusive guests, including high-profile athletes and celebrities, breaking sports news, and unparalleled insider access and pop culture commentary. The Dan Patrick Show, weekdays on Fox Sports Kansas City. That's a mouthful. Off the end of the bat, Escobar gobbles it up. Rios is out number 2. Rios is 2 for 5. Royals have the top of the order in the bottom of the 10th. Aviles, Cabrera, and Gordon. Carlos Quentin was the American League Player of the Week, and it was a short week with games beginning on Thursday. Not everyone started on Thursday. The White Sox began on Friday. And Carlos Quentin had 6 hits, a home run, and 7 RBIs. He is 1 for 4 tonight. He's 1 for 5. Good inning for Robinson Tejeda. So Aviles, Cabrera, and Gordon coming up. Hayda just got to the White Sox 1-2-3. This is just a 2-game series and a quick turnaround tomorrow, an afternoon game. Jeff Francis, who pitched so well against the Angels on Friday, he'll face Mark Burley, who beat the Indians on Friday. A 1:10 game. Royals Live begins at 12:30. And the Royals will have Thursday off and begin their first road trip on Friday in Detroit. Sergio Santos, they'll get the top of the order. Mike Aviles, Melky Cabrera, and Alex Gordon. When you were managing at AA Wichita, you saw Sergio Santos, but in those days he wasn't a pitcher.
I saw him as a shortstop with the Diamondbacks. Always had a great arm, and you guys disappear for a while, and you don't know where they're going to pop up. I didn't never see him popping up as a pitcher.
So here we go. Mike Aviles has had a frustrating night at the plate and in the field. No balls, 1 strike. Ryan Lefebvre with Frank White, Joe Goldberg at Kauffman Stadium. White Sox scored 4 in the top of the first inning. The Royals got 2 in the bottom of the first, 2 in the second. White Sox went ahead in the 6th. The Royals tied it in the 8th. And here we are in the bottom of the 10th. Back-to-back extra inning games for the Royals. And it doesn't matter who the pitcher is tonight. Aviles is having a tough time with the slider away.
Well, it kind of goes back to early in the game when Gavin Floyd ran some balls up under the letters inside, and then he got him to foul one off of his foot, and then he just been sort of reaching for the ball away ever since those 2 at bats.
0 for 5 tonight.
He did put together a nice at bat. His last at bat hit a line drive to short that was turned into a double play. That's probably the best swing he had all day.
Sergio Santos was not only a shortstop, as Frank said, in the Diamondbacks organization. He was their first-round pick in 2002. He was a minor league infielder for 7 seasons. And it didn't take him very long to figure out pitching. He moved to the mound before the 2009 season. He was in the big leagues the very next year.
Wow.
He had better luck figuring out pitching on the mound than he did standing at the plate.
Well, the plate is usually, it always goes back to the breaking ball.
Kaneko Teixeira ready to go if we go to 11 innings. Talking about the Royals' first comeback tonight. Down by 4 at the end of a half inning. Alex Gordon hit a 2-run home run in the first, and then with 2 outs in the second inning, Melky Cabrera hit a 2-run single. And the game was tied until the White Sox scored in the 6th. On the ground to Beckham, and there are 2 outs. So 2 down, and now Alex Gordon, who has 2 hits, and both of those hits extra base hits.
Well, that's the same swing on both, except one he got up for the home run, Ryan. But the biggest thing is he's keeping that shoulder closed. And in the 8th inning, you see right here, gets a left-handed sail. He just line drive over the shortstop and rolls all the way to the wall. It's just a good indication that he struck that ball very well.
Alex faced Santos once last year, and he struck out. Gavin Floyd, after a shaky start, ended up going 7 for the White Sox. He gave up 4 runs in the first 2 innings and scoreless over the next 5. Chris Sale gave up the 2-run home run to Billy Butler in the 8th. Jesse Crain pitched an inning in the 3rd, didn't allow a run, and now Santos in the 10th. All geared up for a fastball. Santos had something else in mind.
that's what the major league's all about. You know, you get in that 2-0 count, then you'll get a fastball, and all of a sudden here comes a changeup.
Broken bat up the right field line. That will drop. Quinton was playing deep. So Alex is into second base with his second double and his third extra base hit.
What most hitters would say, Ryan, the bat broke, but it was a thing of beauty. Well placed and was able to get him in scoring position with 2 outs here. So he takes a good look at it and realizes he didn't go in the corner, didn't have a chance for 3. And just want to be in scoring position right now.
A.J. Pierzynski went out to talk to Santos, and they're going to walk Billy Butler. And the fans won't like this, but if you're the White Sox and you have an open base and the runner at first means nothing, would you rather face someone who has more experience like Billy Butler or someone with less experience like Keila Kaihui?
Well, you just don't want to see a replay of this 2-run homer that he hit to tie this game up. So they're always going to go with the inexperience in this situation. Even though you got right-hander versus right-hander.
With Billy getting a nice 4-year contract extension during the offseason, I remember how Whitey Herzog determined who he would pitch to. He would just look at whose salary was bigger. And pitch to the guy who has the lesser salary, because the guy who's making big bucks is doing so for a reason.
That's right. And he can sleep at night if that guy beats him. You always want to make the cheap guy beat you.
So you walk Billy, but all of these wins in the last at bat started with Keila back on Friday night.
Hey, this is a bomb here. I mean, this is a fastball right down the middle of the plate. And there's no doubt about this one. And the Royals have been on a roll in the late innings ever since, like you said. And the thing about games like this, is that, and like a game like Keila got going, is that every one that you win, it just gives you that much more confidence as you go along.
Keila has faced Santos 2 times, and he's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. The winning run is at second base with 2 outs. And the slider is in for ball 1. Royals during the Angels series also did an excellent job of scoring with 2 outs. And this inning began with 2 outs and nobody on base. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Keila won it in the 9th on Friday. Royals rallied for 2 in the 8th on Saturday. They won it in the 13th on Sunday. And they have a winning run at second base with 2 outs in the 10th inning tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A bad idea to think about going the other way against Santos.
Well, he really doesn't want to give me anything to pull here, and they've been trying to pitch him away all night. So you just got to get on top of one and drive it in the alley or drive it down the line. Everything inside has been more of the breaking ball variety. Probably the way you would go right here, just throw the slider to the back leg and hope you can get him to chase.
And that's exactly what they do. So we will play 11. Royals 6, White Sox 6. 10th. Extra innings brought to you by Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. Jack Link's, feed your wild side. And now it's Kanekoa Teixeira. You'll get A.J. Pierzynski, Alexi Ramirez, and Brent Morrell. A.J. Pierzynski 1 for 4, singled his last time up. That was in the 8th inning. He has seen Teixeira twice and is hitless. Teixeira, originally a property of the White Sox. They took him in the 22nd round in 06, and he was traded to the Yankees. And while in the Yankee organization, was taken in the Rule 5 by the Seattle Mariners. Placed on waivers, Royals picked him up, and that's how he ended up in Kansas City. Pierzynski is out number 1. Luke Hochevar went 6 and gave up all 6 of the White Sox runs. Aaron Crow, 2 scoreless innings. Joakim Soria, a scoreless inning. Robinson Tejeda, a scoreless inning. So another good night for the Royals bullpen. And we talked a lot about that at the top of the broadcast. Both the young relievers, the relievers that have been around. And the Royals have won 8 of their last 11 against the White Sox here in Kansas City. And the bullpen has been dominant over that stretch. An ERA of well under 1, and that's only gotten better tonight.
Well, the more they continue to play like they're playing, the more confidence they're going to get as a team and pull it all together. And they know you got your little streak going, but these are all positive builders here, and it's all positive going back to spring training and all the accountability that Ned put on the players to be ready to play. Read the board, no meetings, just come out and be ready. And I tell you what, it's really paying dividends right now for the Royals.
And there's still a lot of season left, so you really can't sit here and say, well, the Royals have their bullpen figured out for the entire season.
Right.
But at the same time, there were 7 spots that were up for grabs in spring training. I mean, this competition was wide open. And as it turned out, 4 rookies ended up winning jobs. Only Jeremy Jeffress, who's still considered a rookie, had some major league experience. The other 3 had none. Good call by the home plate umpire Brian Knight. Into left field again. And there are 2 outs. Alexi Ramirez is 1 for 4.
I think you point out a key point about it being a lot of season left, Ryan, but you know, if you bring in that many rookies and you get off to a good start with these guys this early like this, it can only build confidence going down the road. If it's been reversed, then now you got 4 spots that you don't know what you want to do with. So at least you've seen the good in all these guys. So now when they do hit that rocky part, then how do they bounce back? They'll have something that they can look back on and say, okay, I was doing this when I was better. Let me go back, look at the film, read it, refocus, and keep moving ahead.
Brent Morrell to right field. And Francoeur, making sure that thing doesn't skip by him, goes down to his knees. That's the first hit for Morrell. He is 1 for 5. Yeah, if Aaron Crow, if he hits a bump in the road, and everyone's going to hit a bump in the road at some point. I mean, that's just the nature of this game at this level. He can always go back and watch the video of his first week when he was striking out Torrey Hunter and Vernon Wells and Paul Konerko.
Well, it's better than the alternative, I tell you. I mean, these guys have got so much confidence in themselves going right now. That's the good thing.
Tough play for Avila's playing in. And now Teixeira has a scoreless inning. That's 5 scoreless innings for the Royals bullpen. game that wasn't very promising for the Royals in the first inning. Actually, 4 batters into it, the White Sox had a 4-0 lead. But the Royals have been making a habit lately of coming back, and they've come back twice tonight. Down 4-0 and down 6-4. Sergio Santos came on in the 10th, and in the 11th it'll be Francoeur, Escobar, and Trainer. In the 10th, with 2 outs and nobody on, Alex Gordon doubled. The White Sox intentionally walked Billy Butler, and Santos was able to get out of that by striking out Kila Kaihue. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jeff Francoeur. 2 for 4. He could easily be 3 for 4 with the way he swung the bat tonight. This is his first career at bat against Santos. Morel comes up from third, and he makes the play. And that'll bring up Alcides Escobar. He was part of the Royals' first comeback in the second inning, a leadoff single. Later in the inning, he stole third and came around to score with Matt Trainer on Melky Cabrera's 2-out, game-tying 2-run single. Fastball at 94, in for a strike.
Santos' fastball and Gavin Floyd's fastball, they both are reacting the same way, just riding in on the right-hander, not afraid to throw the ball on the inside corner, and then come back with the breaking ball away, and have been pretty successful in getting the Royals to chase that pitch today.
On the ground to Ramirez. 2 outs in the 11th. We told you last inning about Santos moving from a minor league infielder to a minor league pitcher in 2009 after 7 years as an infielder. And then the next year, the White Sox took him out of spring training north, which was somewhat of a surprise. I mean, he ended up having a good year, but that's a pretty quick turnaround for a guy going from a minor league infielder to a contending team. But the White Sox over the years have made a habit of taking guys that they think can help them. They don't get too caught up in where a guy was drafted or how much professional experience he has. And a perfect example of that is Mark Burley, who will start tomorrow. He's had a long, successful career and was once a 38th round draft pick. And he spent about a year in the minor leagues, went to spring training. White Sox said, hey, this guy's pretty good. And rather than saying, well, he's not ready for the big leagues, took him north, and here he is now.
It takes a real canny guy to be able to notice that in a player, and I think a lot of it goes back to their makeup.
2 scoreless innings for Santos. That's his second strikeout. Royals have had a close game in each of the first 5. A 2-run game on opening day, and then back-to-back 1-run games on Friday and Saturday. A 13-inning game on Sunday, which ended up being a 3-run game because of a game-winning home run. And now tied into the 12th. Tied because Billy Butler hit a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th inning off of Chris Sale. Second inning for Kaneko Teixeira. Worked around a 2-out single in the first inning. Gordon Beckham, the number 2 hitter, followed by Adam Dunn and Paul Konerko. One and one on Beckham, who has 2 hits and an RBI tonight. He also has a line out to center field. Beckham in the past against Teixeira is 1 for 4. Into left field. Alex going to hustle into the corner, try and hold him to a single, and he does. Not only got there quickly, but made a perfect throw to second base.
Well, that was an outstanding play. You know, he really took a gamble in the glove angle. Normally you would see him want to backhand this ball, but he wanted to stay facing second base. So you see if he backhands the ball, he's got a little bit better leverage to throw with, and he doesn't continue to run into the wall. But the risk here is the ball bouncing over your glove with that glove angle. But he does an outstanding job getting this ball and getting it back into second base on one hop. Can't ask for any better than that.
You know, he almost threw that ball like a third baseman charging to the line and throwing across his body over to first.
That's that infield in him right there. I mean, you don't see outfielders get rid of balls any quicker than this. I mean, with a lot on it, the ball hits the ground and really takes off, and it's been very accurate also.
One ball and 1 strike on Adam Dunn. On base twice, and he has scored a run. White Sox have 1 stolen base, and they've had a runner thrown out. Beckham had only 4 stolen bases last year. Jeremy Jeffress was warming up earlier in the game. One and 2 on Adam Dunn. Well, this is going to be a long game, even if it's decided here in the 12th. And the schedule has been very friendly to the Royals. A 13-inning game on Sunday, followed by an off day. So all the pitchers were able to get a day off with the arm recovered. And now at least a 12-inning game tonight, a day game tomorrow, and then another off day. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, they didn't have to go through that typical opening day off the next day. They basically played 4 straight days, and I think that you're right. I think it has been of benefit to the pitching because everybody in the bullpen has been used more than one time. And that's good.
Getz goes down to second. That was a tough angle, but they get the lead runner.
That's a heads-up play by Getz to get that lead runner. You always got to be careful when you make that throw and not hit the runner. So he had a clear lane to throw to the outside. Escobar gets to the outside, but you can see how close that was to. You know, Beckham looks around and see the throw's going to be coming that way, so he tries to get in that line.
I saw the same thing. It's subtle, but you could see him go to the outside of the bag. Brent Lillibridge now is going to run for Adam Dunn. High and away to Paul Konerko, who hit a 3-run home run in the first inning, his first of the year. That's his only hit tonight. He is 1 out of 5. He
has hit in 11 straight games, going back to last year, obviously, against the Royals. Two balls and no strikes. Paul Konerko was named the White Sox captain in 2006, 1 year after they won the World Series. It was their first World Championship since 1917. And the first time they had been to the World Series since 1959. And as the story goes, Konerko at first rejected the opportunity to be a captain, didn't want to be singled out among his teammates, and felt like it was a team effort that got them to the World Series and the championship, but then accepted. And now, over the last 2 years, you hear a lot of young players like Gordon Beckham talking about what an influence Paul Konerko has had on them, both on the field and in the clubhouse.
Well, you have some managers that believe in captains. You have some that don't. And I think that when you have a guy with Konerko's heritage in this game, I think that making him a captain is a big deal, because obviously they watch the players around him, watch the players, how they respond to him and things like that. And that's what it leads up to.
Teixeira goes an inning and a third, and now Jeremy Jeffress jogs in. For Jeremy Jeffress, who makes his second appearance as a Royal, gave up a run on Sunday to the Angels and was in line to win his first American League game. But the game wasn't decided until the 13th, and Tim Collins ended up with the win. Jeffress had one win last year pitching for the Brewers. Alex Rios at the plate, Carlos Quentin on deck. 96 miles an hour for a strike to Rios. Pinch runner Brent Lillibridge for Adam Dunn is at second. Paul Konerko is at first. And Matt Trainer at the last moment wants to alert the infield as to where he will throw if the White Sox try a double steal. I would guess with Konerko at first, he would probably throw down to second base.
That would be my guess.
Pretty good heat there. 98. No balls, 2 strikes. Because he pitched for the Brewers last year and because it was in September, nobody on the White Sox 25-man roster has faced Jeremy Jeffress. So huge advantage to the pitcher. Trainer blocks that with his face.
He's just been really phenomenal back there. I mean, he's just real soft and let the ball do whatever the ball wants to do. He doesn't try to catch it. All he wants to do is block it right back out in front of the plate.
Rios was 0 for 12 in the Cleveland series over the weekend. He has 2 singles tonight. Lillibridge with an early break, and Jeffress comes flying off the mound, gets it to Getz, and Lillibridge got around the tag. He thought he was out. Mike Aviles can't believe it. Lillibridge, he just kind of lay on the dirt outside of third base, upset at himself until Hunter Wendelstedt said safe. Now he's going to be called out. And I think the reason is because Hunter Wendelstedt at first thought that Mike Aviles had the ball in his hand and not the glove. Well, you can see exactly what happened. He thought that the runner was out because of the tag, and then you could see Wendelstedt. He looked back to Aviles, and when he saw Aviles, Mike had the ball in his hand, and so Wendelstedt thought he tagged him with an empty glove. So he got some help from the second base umpire, and I think I was able to read Bob Davidson's lips or Hunter Wendelstedt's lips. Watch this. See the tag. Wendelstedt is ready to call him out. He looks to Aviles. He sees the ball in Aviles' bare hand. So Aviles can't believe it.
Well, I can't understand is why would he even watch Lillibridge slide into third base? I mean, if Mike tagged him, then why even watch the runner and then go back to Mike and say safe? I mean, I just don't understand that call. Not that he didn't get it right, but I didn't understand his actions as far as why would he look at the runner slide into third and then go back and make the call.
2 balls, 2 strikes. I thought I could read his lips too, saying to Bob Davidson, did he have the ball in his hand? And I think Bob Davidson said no, it was in his glove.
See right here, he tagged him right there, and now he's looking to make a throw. But if you can open it wider, you can see Wendelstedt watching the runner slide into third.
Konerko did not move up to second base. Deep short. Escobar with a long throw and an amazing play. So we take all of that to the bottom of the 12th inning.
He's 4 steps on the grass. He's going away from first base, and he's got to get his body angled back toward first base. Right foot hits, body turns, and it's all arm strength and accuracy after that. They say right away when we acquired him in the Greinke trade that he can be a highlight reel every night.
So range and the arm to throw that ball that far and that firm. whole team was waiting for him in the dugout. We'll see if the Royals can use that for inspiration. Here in the bottom of the 12th, they'll face Tony Pena. Frank, not to be confused with Tony Pena or Tony Pena
Jr.
Ball 1 to Chris Getz. Sergio Santos turned in 2 scoreless innings, the 10th and the 11th. So Chris Getz, then Mike Aviles, then Melky Cabrera. 2 balls and no strikes. The right side of the infield is just tempting Getz to lay down a drag bunt. They are way back. If Getz could get one near the mound and by the mound, he'd have an easy hit. 2-1. And even Brent Morel, the third baseman, he's not playing on the grass. He's playing even with the bag. Two balls, 2 strikes. Tonight Getz is 1 for 4. He's singled to right field in the 7th inning. Two, and the Royals would love to have that speed at first base to lead off the 12th. Over the mound, over the bag, and there's the winning run at first with nobody out.
There are options here for Ned Yost right now. Mike Aviles not swinging the bat as well tonight. He can use him in the bunt right here. Chris Getz can do an outright steal, or you can do a hit and run and try to keep him on the ball a little bit longer. That's just all the options you have with a guy like Chris Getz on first and a Mike Aviles at the plate.
Aviles tonight is 0 for 5. He has struck out twice, and he's lined into a double play. 1 for 3 with a home run against Tony Pena. Morel is in at third, thinking that Aviles might lay down a bunt, and Pena throws over to first again, wondering if Aviles will tip his hand. And Aviles has decided that he's going to break out of it in this at bat with no batting gloves. And the bunt is down to Konerko, and he'll run to the line to get Aviles, so the winning run is in scoring position. So as it applies to every sport, you want to finish on a good one, and if that bunt sets up the winning run tonight, it'll be much easier for Aviles to forget about his first 5 at-bats.
I agree with that all the way. And you go back to Melky Cabrera single to left center field, and there's a single in the right field to drive in 2 runs. So he's had a good night so far, with an opportunity to have an even better night.
Over the mound, behind second base. Here comes Getz, and the Royals have done it again. Truly saved the best for last. They have won 4 straight games, and all 4 wins have come in their last at bat.
Just a high hopper up the middle here, just well placed, and he knew right away he was going to go to the outfield with Getz at second. Right? Ain't no way in the world he's not going to score on this point here.
Royals win it 7-6 in 12. Let's go down to the field, and here's Joel.
All right, just another day at the office for the comeback kids, and once again, we've got two guests on the field. We'll start with the game-winning pitcher. How about 3 games in a row, the Royals with wins from rookies, and Jeremy Jeffress getting his second Major League win, first as a Kansas City Royal. Tell me about the comeback ability of this team.
Man, we're battling to the 9th inning, man. We can't. Once we go on that field from the first inning, we're battling all 9. Doesn't matter.
And sometimes 12 and 13 as well. Tell me about the pickoff play there, and then the emotions involved in that play when you think you have them, and then ultimately end up getting them.
Well, our bullpen coach told us to watch the runner. He's a pretty good fast runner, and he told me to just watch him. And once I got the pickoff, it was just I did my job, baby.
All right, how about the emotions getting in there too? You come into a huge situation, game on the line, 2 on. What's going through your head?
I'm ready to knock him down. I'm ready. From the beginning to the end, baby. I'm ready.
With 94, 96, 98, good job. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
All right, that is Jeremy Jeffress, and he is absolutely fired up. And now we are going to bring in Chris Getz, who scores the game-winning run, gets things started against his old team. My apologies, first off, you had 3 hits the other day, and we didn't get you out here. We were waiting for this one. How exciting was this? Every single game, really.
Yeah, pretty much every one's been exciting right to the end. And, you know, Hoach, he kind of struggled early, but he kept us in the game. Relievers have been outstanding. And then we just been, you know, keep on fighting, and we ended up with a win there. There's
so much speed on this team and ability to make things happen on the base paths. What's the mindset for you? You get on there right away, and obviously something's going to happen, whether it be at the plate or with you on the base paths.
Yeah, try to be aggressive as possible without making any dumb mistakes, but sometimes those are going to happen. Just the mindset of don't be scared and go out there and wreak havoc.
That's an interesting point you make, too, about don't be scared. That's something Ned Yost has talked about a lot. Base running, first base coach Doug Sisson as well. We saw you go from second to third on a throw on Sunday that Alberto Callaspo made, and being aggressive. How important, how key has that been for you guys?
Yeah, it's real key because, I mean, last year, you know, we actually hit pretty well, but we weren't creating runs. So that we kind of started day one in spring training. We were told just be aggressive. You can't make any mistakes out there. Don't be scared, and let's try to create some things.
All right, final thing, 4 straight walk-off wins in some fashion or another, or at least wins in your final at-bat. What is it with this team and the comeback ability?
I have no idea. I've never seen anything like this, but it's a lot of fun. We'll keep on doing it, and let's go Royals.
Keep it rolling. Thanks, Getzy.
All right.
All right, that is Chris Getz, and boy, I'll tell you what, Ryan, I think at this point, 4 straight games, everybody's a fan favorite. Guys?
No kidding, and new hero every night. Tonight it was a combination of Chris Getz with the hit, Mike Aviles with the bunt, and Melky Cabrera with the game winner. Cabrera drives in 3 tonight. 7-6 Royals in 12. We'll be right back.